That was just a dream, Henry. We're in the woods. We were ambushed, but don't worry. We'll get you fixed up right as rain.
Now I've got you, whoresons.
Think against them!
Hey, lad! Are you alive, lad?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning.
Get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
I am Shamakwat von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia.
Get up now. There's work to be done.
Brother?
I ain't your ma, laddie. Oh, may all the saints be praised. I was afraid you'd never wake up again.
What? Where am I?
Where would you be? Here in my cabin, where you and that pal of yours burst in last night. Slowly, lad. Slowly.
What happened? What about Hans?
He's taken care of for now, but he was on the edge there for a bit. And so were you, lad, so calm yourself. Last night you were 1 foot in the grave already. You were lucky you happened to turn up here.
Well, I have to talk to Hans.
You won't get much out of him now. He's lost a lot of blood and he has a fever.
What happened to him?
That cutthroat that followed you fellas cut him up bad. Hans was fighting him outside, then he came staggering in, said something about Fortuna, and collapsed on the floor.
And what about that cutthroat?
You can go out and have a look at him. Hans gave him a right hammering. I didn't get a wink of sleep with that corpse in my yard.
I understand. I'm sorry we caused you such trouble. But you'll save Hans, won't you?
God willing. Well, I managed to pull you out of death's grip, so maybe I'll be blessed again. I'll go check on him as soon as I'm done with you. How are you feeling?
There's no part of me that doesn't hurt. Inside and out. Mostly my shoulder where I took an arrow.
Little wonder, then. But you're conscious and talking. That's a good sign. Ah, your shoulder is looking a lot better. I did my best. but I don't see good no more, especially at night. So I didn't do the best job. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And now you've moved about, it started up again. Take this and bandage it up. Not much else we can do with it now.
Thanks. I reckon I can manage that. But I need to get a breath of fresh air to clear my head.
You slept through half of God's bright day, lad. So, if you feel up to it, go ahead. At least we'll see how steady you are on your feet. While you're at it, you can stop by the trough and wash all that nasty grime off of yourself. I found an old tunic. Put it on so you don't catch a chill. It gets cold here by the water. No doubt you'll be famished and need a bite to eat. There's some hot soup in the pot on the fire. If that ain't enough, I put some bread and cheese on the table outside for you. And you'll find some of our home-brewed liquor there, too, in case you need bucking up. Don't overdo it, though.
I won't. Thanks a lot. May God reward you 1,000-fold. What's your name, by the way?
Bushenna's my name.
And I'm Henry.
I know. Hans told me. I'll go and check.
Everything I take now will be mine, and I plan to take everything.
Rotted hell!
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The stronger dog fucks the bitches, and war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it as a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise.
Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
Definitely better than yesterday. Thanks.
That's good. Ma will be glad, but I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, that oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
Okay, guys, what do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? You dirty, dirty, dirty guys.
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver in Skalitz turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried me away from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours.
Well, it's the one that these are pretty much the ones you already know from Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but you can see that there are already some levels attached to them. And we can also see here in the skills that Henry knows already something, but as Prokop said, we have to hone his skills now even further, right?
As you can see, there's some of the skills are completely new. There's 9 general skills. There's then 6 combat skills. You can see, for example, maybe a little tidbit, pole arms are now a completely usable weapons. You can stash them in your inventory. You can change to you can just pick up a pole arm in the middle of the combat, which with its own perks and everything, the same as the marksmanship. It now has all the perks and everything, way more than in KCD1 and definitely more impactful.
Yeah, and one common question we get quite often is like, how does it behave with the combat? And of course here, if you check, Henry, of course, is able to use a few tricks already. Riposte, perfect block, feint, evade. So the combat got an overhaul, of course. So it plays different, it feels different, while it stays very true to its nature. I think for KCD1 lovers, they will feel right at home. But meanwhile, we are trying to make it a little bit more like accessible, maybe, while not dumping it down. However, since, as I said, Henry already got his fair share of combat in KCD1, he of course needs to know the bare minimum. However, he will of course hone his skills even further. And then we have also the combos, of course. So for the different weapons. And there's even one of my favorite ones. I mentioned that already in the first stream, but even unarmed combat get an overhaul. So you can actually, with a few tricks and combos, you can disarm your opponent, which is pretty cool. And which is nice. And
you can actually, there's like you can go to the clinch and to like basically a brawl, and you can also, like, if you're good enough, you can just, from the unarmed combat, you can go immediately to stealth skill. So it's hard, but it's doable.
Okay, but we are still bleeding and we stink. So
you are a hungry boy.
And hungry Henry, of course, stamina is decreased. I can't do anything with the reekiness right now. We can wash ourselves, but not while sitting on the bed. However, if going to the inventory and taking some bandages, I will of course be able to at least take care of my wounds. That's done, and to not run around naked, I will put on this wonderful short tunic.
What a nice looking boy.
What a nice looking boy, exactly. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? I think our environment and graphic designers are really did the extra miles again. And today will be more of a hiking trip. As I said, we are going through the countryside of Trotsky Castle, but first we are hungry and we have to get up, and hungry Henry needs to eat something.
Yay. So, food on the spoon.
Food on the spoon. That is actually something that you were fighting for a lot.
Yeah, it's just such a tiny thing, but the level of polish in the game is just the sum of these tiny things that, and hopefully we did a lot of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I think generally the KCD is a lot about the details, and I know that many gamers probably won't nerd about the fact that there's food on the spoon, but still for us that's a huge thing. And again, it all plays into this immersion thing, because at the end we are trying very hard to have KCD, or to make KCD one of the most, maybe the most immersive video game there is out there. So and again, it's the tiny thing. Actually, if you don't realize that something is wrong, and you don't realize anything pretty much, then that's mission accomplished, because if you feel it at home, then that's exactly what we are trying to
And as we were saying, there's a lot of like little things you can do, even like a feature-wise, but we are not trying to pressure you into doing that. There's like ton of mini games and ton of gameplay styles and everything, but we're completely fine. We don't want to like force you into anything. The game is full of things and activities you can do, but if you want, that's fine. Just enjoy your gameplay style. There's many of those.
And again, a little disclaimer. So this build is a tiny little bit older, but not too old, so don't worry. However, where we are right now in development is that we are in a very, very heavy polish and bug fixing stage. So you will encounter probably a few visual bugs here and there, but I personally am extremely, extremely happy with how the game develops and how in what a wonderful state it is right now. So just so you know that there will be eventually some wonkiness here and there, but I think that shouldn't hinder us from enjoying this wonderful piece. So let's continue a tiny little bit with the quest. So Hans is here on the ground. Bojena wants us to wash ourselves and eat something. That is what we did. But we will check on our friend Hans.
Can you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you. And over Bojena, too.
And sometimes Henry is even a faithful Christian.
Yeah.
Better pray you have
Pray for him. It might help him.
Maybe. Everything that helps our best friend here.
Yeah, there's actually, here it's just a quest thing, but there's actually places in the map that you can pray in, and there's a specific perk, I think it's scholarship skill, that will give you like boosts for a day or two when you're a good Christian.
Henry has some dirty nails. We need to wash ourselves. Absolutely.
You should. It's a shame.
Shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful, Henry.
And it actually lowers your stats. It lowers your charisma. When you're dirty, it's harder to persuade people. So yeah, definitely do that.
Like in real life. Dirty nails, guys out there.
Yeah.
Cut your nails, please.
Do something.
Do something. Okay, let's rob her clean first.
Yeah.
Of
like
course.
Classic RPG players. Steal everything.
That looks so good. I mean, I'm here getting crazy about our own game, but dude, I think the difference between KCD1 and KCD2 is really huge. And sometimes it doesn't look like that. If you look at this right now and say, hey, this looks a lot like KCD1, try and compare them one-to-one in some videos. You will see that it's like so differently, and your memory might deceive you a tiny little bit, but yeah, we went. Look at that. So she has her hut here in this sandstone block.
And you will see more of that outside, but let's see if you will steal other. Of course you will. I know you, Toby.
Of course. I don't even bother to go into stealth. Oh, maybe I should just in case. So, what do we have here? Piercing arrows. Give it to me. I like a lot this new thing that you have the not only the name of the item, but also the value and everything. That's
you can check the stats and just decide if it's like good enough to pick even.
Of course.
You will. I know you will pick everything.
I will take everything that isn't nailed to the ground. So
you don't have lockpicks, man. You can't steal this yet. You'll have to come back later.
Lucky you. So okay. What's else here? Look at this here. Tailor kit.
Yeah, and you can actually, well, maybe let's wait a little bit later, but you can use it in this quest.
Oh. So let's use it then. Okay. No more stealth mode. Thank you, Bojena, for patching us up, and I stole everything you had. So, let's go outside and check this. So,
I really like this scene.
Yeah. So from the little cutscene we saw in the beginning, we saw this dead guy here. I hope the dog is not eating him, just sniffing. But this is the dude that that was following Henry and Hans to this place, and Hans was fighting him, but got terribly wounded, as you could see.
But he did kill him.
But he did kill this particular fellow, and I will. Oh, look, there's a little piggy there.
Yeah, it's hers.
Wonderful.
It's Boar.
Boar. But first of all, for those out there who don't know, this is a floppy disk. And floppy disk is something that I was sharing in school back in the days with funny stuff on it. But for us, it's the Savior Schnapps, which we will use. That's a very common question, by the way. The saving. We want to talk about that
Sure.
for a second.
It's you can actually use it right now, or maybe wash yourself first.
Okay.
You don't want to have save when you're dirty.
Sure.
But yeah, and you can even this is like little. It's actually nice.
Yeah, and the hands are clean now.
Yeah.
So are his nails.
So you can save your game now, I'd say. Yeah. So the system is very similar to what we had in KCD1, meaning there's autosaves in quests. There's actually quite a lot more in KCD2 than it was in KCD1. So you should be pretty safe even when you don't use the savior snaps. But we still want to, like, the immersion is so important for us that we want you to, when you're trying, like deciding, should I try to rob this place or should I attack this bandit camp? There should be always some element of like fear or decision making, because you can't just abuse saving mechanism. There's no quick save. So if you want to like just try something, you'll have to use the savior snaps, and yeah, you will have to either find it or brew it in alchemy or buy it.
But you get tipsy from it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Here you go, drunkenness.
And it's another thing, it shows the depth of our systems. Even just a simple mechanic as a drunkenness, there's associated skill with drunkenness, and there's perks. It can help you in various situations, but be careful. It's not good to drink too much, because there's like a positive state of drunkenness. There's a negative state of drunkenness.
There's a negative state of drunkenness. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Never heard
you
of
don't
that.
remember your negative states. I do remember them.
Okay.
But there's also like hangovers, and you can also get addicted to alcohol. And also there's like maybe just a little tiny thing, but it really, I think it shows how deep the game is. If you get really drunk, you'll pass out.
Oy, oy.
And if you pass out somewhere where people don't like you,
Oy, oy.
they might steal your stuff. So if you wake up, and they will actually wear them. You might wake up and see some guy wearing your, hat or boots or something like that.
It's like in this movie, I don't know how it's called in English, the Prince from Zamunda or something, and they're like coming to the United States and got robbed and everything, and the other day they find the guys outside trying to sell their...
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, we washed ourselves and we ate something.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night. That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet or make sure he never gets up again. So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before hands beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever
Show yourself to Bojana. Here I am, Bojana.
All right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion.
Actually, the Lethean potion is a potion from KCD1. It's in KCD2 as well, and it resets your perks if you want to like change your. So it's like a little inside joke.
The best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it, and of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
Easy as pie. I can do that. Sage has a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. Both of them grow in sunny places. There are sandstone cliffs around here. The soil underneath might suit them.
Good lad. You really do know a thing or two. I'd never have guessed. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious too.
So she wants us to
Maybe
bury
I
that
could
dead
manage to
guy,
bury him somewhere.
but
Or at least
we
hide him
won't.
somewhere further off in the woods.
And we tell you why later.
Lord be
Yeah,
praised.
soon.
Soon.
I'm truly glad of that.
And
Do
I
you
see
feel
some
up to it,
people
laddie?
in the chat were
You
like
ain't in the
mentioning
best
our
of
facial
shape,
animations, and I
and
think
digging a
yeah,
grave's a tough
a lot of
job,
work were
even for
put
a
into
healthy
them. So
fella.
I really feel they're way better, obviously than in KCD1.
Not to
But
worry.
also if you saw some
I'll
of the
see what I
older
can manage.
builds on Gamescom or
It's only
anywhere, I
part of
think
us that
even
he's
in the
here
last
anyway.
push
I wouldn't want you to have
really
any more
polish the
trouble.
game, they got improved as well.
And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True.
The stench of death.
Bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again, so's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right. I'll get to it. Oh, so
You're going to
hungry I could
need
eat a
all the
horse.
saints watching over you.
He's hungry again. Henry is a hungry boy.
Of course. I have just the right idea.
And I think I know what you want to do.
So, cheeky.
Yeah, there's a
Chicken.
boar, but I don't
Yeah,
think you can kill him now. You'll have to find the chickens, but they will be here like later on.
Cheeky. Lucky them. Anyway, the facial animations.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good now.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan, not only of the animation, but also of the entire look of Božena. I think she looks just like a very friendly, very nice granny. But yeah, so she wanted us to get rid of this fellow here, which we will not do at this moment, and we will tell you later why. So let's continue with the little quest. So she sent us to go up here to pick a few flowers. So let's check where we are actually, right? At the first map, as I told you. So this is the, let's say, smaller map of the two that we have prepared for KCD 2. And it's a more, let's say, countryside map. We will show you a little bit further later, I mean. But right now we are here. Take the spade. I don't want to do that yet. But pick chamomile and sage.
Yes. And as you can see, actually, the first map is really, I really like that there's like a different biomes. So there you have the lakes and ponds, you have the sandstone, rocks, formations, you have vast farms. It's like a really deep forest. So I really like there's like an opportunity to hide all those little secrets all over the map, or quests, or interesting people to talk to.
Different biomes. So we have a mountain map and a snow map. And
No. It's still in Bohemia. So, but and as you can see, I am really proud about the forests we can make. Yeah. And this is not a deep forest. This is like close to the Božena, so it's not really a deep forest. But it looks
I like also
so good.
the verticality, right? That it's not only like flat place, but that it really goes steep uphill, and that there's really quite some stuff. And again, we took a lot of inspiration, of course, of the real area. So these places really exist. I'm not sure if Božena still has a hut down there, but theoretically you can try and find this place in real life, and that's, I think, quite interesting. Do you see him?
Rabbit, yes.
Lucky him, I don't have a bow. I would miss him anyway, but I can
You
throw.
can try, but I don't think you can kill him with a stone, but you will never hit him, yeah.
Come on. Oh God, I can already see Peter reacting tomorrow. Warhorse attacking,
it's
throwing
actually
stones.
new mechanic in KCD2, and it's obviously most useful in stealth to lure people away, but you're evil, man. You want to hit him with a stone, don't you?
I'm so bad.
I think he'll hear you when you're close. Yeah. But we really liked it, and we really wanted to allow Henry to do it even when he's not near enemies. So there's like complete variants of barks and like these little sayings, or even a crime when you're like hitting somebody with a rock throw. And it's really funny, actually. They talk to you like you're just some, what the hell you're doing.
That's what I liked a lot on KCD1 already, that when you were crouching around the city somewhere, they were asking you, like, do you have to go to the toilet or something? Is something wrong with you? So it's like the world is really reacting to you, and I think that is again defines Kingdom Come Deliverance a lot.
Definitely.
That whatever you do in the game will have an impact, and that's what we are trying to show you a little bit today as well. That sometimes the decisions you do and sometimes the stuff you decide can be really tiny, just some different dialogues or whatever. But sometimes it can really have also bigger impacts, and in the worst case, it can even lead to death of certain characters.
Yes.
So that is really big. But I strongly believe, and that is the underlying thing, and very important for you to understand, there is no real right and wrong. So I strongly believe that even if, let's say you decide somehow that someone dies or whatever, that's not a wrong decision or a bad decision per se. It's just the way how you tell your story, or how you, Henry, goes through this, part of
choices
history.
and consequences. We really, especially as designers, we really like those old school RPGs when you can really do anything you want. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of consequences, and a lot of approaches to every situation. This is actually, it's just such a little thing, but it's quite interesting. This is like a little pagan thing, but obviously Bohemia in the 15th century was already heavily Christianized. But many times people think that when somebody is Christianized, when a country is Christianized, suddenly everything that was before is forgotten and everybody is like the Christian as we know them today. And it's not true. Actually, the Christianization was like a process that took a long time, and also those like cultures mixed together. So even people in these ages would think about themselves as Christians, but they would still have these superstitions, and they would like kind of mix the beliefs of Christianity back to some rituals they did. They will use like parts of Christianity, and also they would carry some paganism with them into Christianity. And it's like a mixture. It's very, very interesting topic. There's some of that in game, but it's also like, you can spend hours on Wikipedia to learn about it, or even in much more,
All this talks about Christianity made me tired, so
let's go back. Sorry, I'm lover of history, so
barefoot.
It's important
but
to me
look
to
at
have
that
it correctly.
there.
Yes.
The magic, the wizard tower.
Yes, well, almost.
Almost.
This is actually Trotsky Castle. It's in the middle of the Trotsky region. Not very surprising. And I will not give you any spoilers, but very important things for the story will happen there. And basically, for a big part of the story, you're trying to get there. And the castle is on a hill, obviously. It's like the smart thing to do. And you can actually see it from every part of the map. So it's kind of taunts you, and you will have to overcome it and get there.
And for those who played KCD1 and saw the end of KCD1, then your initial quest is, or the KCD1 ended in a way that the lords were sitting together writing that letter that you and Hans and his entourage of soldiers were supposed to bring to that castle up there. But how we ended up here in this hut in this forest and not in this castle, that is something that you will then experience in the game. But it's quite dramatic, and I think it will be.
And it's a real thing. It's a real castle. You can still go there even now. It's it's not in a good shape. It's like it's a ruin now, or partly it's ruined. But it's especially nice place, really. If you're ever in Czech Republic, go there. It's an amazing place.
Okay. I was there. As a matter of fact, Trotsky is a Czech a regular word, and Trotsky means ruins. Really, translation 1-to-1. Sad part about that the castle is actually ruins. They are ruins right now. So,
but actually, the name was still in place in 15th century, even when the castle was brand new. So it's kind of this little mystery why they called it like that.
And a little side note information for you guys. So Trotsky Castle was finished by the end of the 14th century, so 1390 whatever.
It's really new.
And the game takes place in 1403. So you will have the chance to see a brand new castle in its full pride, up and ready for you to explore. So,
what's happening?
What's happening? The dog is making a fuss. The chickens arrived as well. Good for me. And we will go into stealth mode again. We have to see a little bit what's going on there.
Yeah.
And before, I'm Okay, there's some baddies, right? We can see them there already.
In case there's any foul
Get a hold of a weapon. Or we see already the rabbit up there, so they are slightly hearing us. We have to equip the weapon just in case, you know, you never know. And then I will go here, and they will say, what? There's the piece of shit, and he's immediately attacking us.
You are done for!
Uh-huh, am I? Okay, show me.
Fuck this!
Oh!
Yeah, you hit his head, but now his friend.
No.
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh!
Man. Yeah,
I have died in combat.
you did.
So, why did that happen? First of all, because I'm an idiot and I turned my back towards the enemy.
Not a smart thing to do.
Not a smart thing to do. You shouldn't. So, lessons learned, guys, right? The more you know. And but what happened actually? So, one thing you hopefully noticed is that they immediately attacked us, right? So why is that? So those dudes were apparently looking for us, for someone, we don't know that, I tell you already, and they saw their dead friend on that pile that we, our task was to bury him. We said, screw you, we won't. And they saw him and put one and one together and immediately attacked us.
Yeah,
Okay?
they knew somebody was hiding there. They knew somebody killed their friend, so they attacked you immediately. So these are like, there's obviously in the game, there's like a really big choices and contents, like you know them from other games, you know, big story-making events. But there are also these little things. There are very little things that you don't even know you're making a little choice, but it is there. The game is very reactive to what you're doing.
Absolutely. And because of that, I would like to try again and see what happens if we play everything a tiny little bit different.
You have to talk to her first. Yeah.
I'm stupid. I should have made the save after I talked to Božena. So let me just skip through that so we have this quickly. She says the same thing as before. After all, it's the same situation as we saw before. By the way, we didn't mention this earlier. Sometimes, and that was already the part in KCD1, but maybe you want to say something about this. Sometimes the perks or the skills that you learn will help you in some dialogues and unlock some special...
Yeah. We actually do have some skills that are especially used in dialogues, a lot of like kind of persuasion or impression or intimidation and stuff like that. But we also want to use your regular skills in dialogues. So sometimes, for example, when she's asking you whether you know something about alchemy, you can use the skill, and it can, sometimes it gives you like a new option, sometimes it just gives you some new items, or just a reputation like you just did with Božena. She really appreciates that you know something about alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
The chicks are there.
But here's, you can see the reputation we mentioned earlier.
Actually, the reputation system, maybe I can give you a little explanation. It also got pretty overhauled in KCD2. So you have a reputation with like specific types of people or some like regions, but now there's a whole thing about how the reputation distributes. So for example, if you have like one house when the owner hates somebody else, if you do something, trying to kill the chicken, sorry. But what I was just trying to say is that the reputation now like is slowly distributed about to other factions if they know each other. And sometimes when you do something bad to somebody else might actually appreciate it.
Do you think Božena appreciates that I punched her chicken into
I think she doesn't,
abyss?
but she didn't see you. So
Yeah.
you're lucky.
And now...
Maybe just, show the chicken first. Maybe.
Wait a second. Show the chicken first, of course. Chicken.
It's the Y to show the info.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see even just plain food in our game. There's so many stats. You can, if you want to, you can really delve deep into everything. You don't have to. The game, you kind of understand everything, even if you don't want to really study the systems. But if you want to, and you can check right here, the nourishment is 10.
Yeah.
So cook
and
it.
After my 5-finger death punch, cookie. There you go. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yes.
Yes.
Cooked chicken. Where is it? I want it. Give me the chicken. There you go. Up.
With left?
Yes.
And you can see you actually improve the chicken by cooking it, which is like obvious thing to do. But you can cook food, you can dry it, you can smoke it. For example, I especially recommend drying your food because especially at the beginning you will have some trouble with limited inventory. So drying food makes it lighter. So I suggest doing
Plus,
that.
food can spoil, and dried and smoked and so on will, of course.
It will last way longer.
So, back to Dead Bastard.
Yeah.
So, Dead Bastard. First of all, give me your sword. That's always good. And now, loot not leveln, because that's the best thing you can do. Give me all your crap.
And as you can see, we are so used to it, but actually in KCD, everything you see on any NPC is actually on him. So you can always loot anything that's on him. He really changes because you loot his clothes. So yeah, he's now naked, Dead Bastard.
I cannot loot his undies.
Yeah.
So I took the spade, ace of spades, and now we are taking this body and do what we were told, and that is to go and bury him in the forest. He's pretty heavy, so I can't sprint with him. That's the fastest I can do. The little boar is checking us out suspiciously. I don't like that look in his eyes. It's fierce. Let's rather continue. And we have to go now in this like little swampy area kinda and try and bury that naked bastard. Oh look, the piggy is following us.
I think he's like fleeing you actually.
No,
you might be too stinky for him.
No, he wants to create a friendship.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. I might be so stinky that he want to be. He smells us and says, "Family." Isn't it great to come home? So you go here.
I think you need to bring him closer.
Do I? No, I don't. I know. So as a matter of fact, let me show it for you guys. I know where to dig, but if you wouldn't, as you can see on the top of the compass, it tells you that somewhere here in this region, which is now I'm covering it, unfortunately, with this little thing. We have to bury the corpse, so we drop him here, wherever. Have to find, with our nose in the dirt, start digging, there you go. And Henry is doing his job.
Yeah. And actually, this will make you dirty again. We listen
dirty Henry.
We actually listen to feedback, so you are like now gain like the dirtiness slower in the open world. But specific interaction with the world will make you dirty very fast. For example, digging graves.
So I can drop him in there, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, isn't ragdoll an amazing thing?
Yeah, always.
Go in. Come on. Put your legs in there. A little bit more. Oh no! Oh god, oh no.
I think you can bury him even like this.
Up. Yeah, I think that's good enough, right?
He doesn't deserve anything better.
Good enough.
He tried to attack Hans.
Yeah, he's like an upside-down popsicle right now. So, after quite a bit of time, look, and even we cut off his limbs, and the rest is old story. But before we go that way, let's go that way, because let's try and get a tiny little bit closer to Trusky Castle. We can't go too close. The quest requires you to stay here around him, so there's a natural barrier that will tell you, I shouldn't go, and let me just check in which direction.
You're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just follow the stream.
So follow the stream.
And as you can see now, as I was talking about the biomes, obviously you will not go to the deserts and stuff like that. But you can see you're getting closer to the pond, to the little lake. So everything is getting a little more swampier. Yeah, different herbs and different trees are actually growing here, and everything, every tree, every bush, everything you see are real, flora that actually exists, that actually grows in these places, and it's mapped so meticulously that even if you would be like a botanist, you would probably recognize a lot of them.
There was a ornithologist reaching out to us not long ago, complaining that we have I forgot the name of that, like some dows or something in KCD1, because our sound engineers actually, when he goes into the forest to get the sounds right, he's of course taking 21st century sounds, and not 1403 sounds. So
and there were some invasive species of birds that actually weren't there in the 15th century. So we had to and we actually like this kind of feedback, because this is the thing we love.
We absolutely love that. We love to talk to those people, laugh about it together, and say it's just amazing. You know what's also amazing? This view. Oh my goodness. Look at this. It's maybe too good to have our faces there. So let me just put us away for a second. So isn't that great?
Yeah. I really like, and there's these little nooks and crannies in like around the pond that you can find interesting things and points of interest, and it's really, really nice.
And now, Prokop, the chat is asking, can Henry swim? Do you think we should debunk this, crush their dreams?
Not really. Actually, at the beginning of the game, Henry will be forced to swim in a very, like a story moment. And it will go so horribly that he will swear he will never swim again. So, yeah, sorry. You can't just freely swim anywhere.
Hungry Henry unfortunately cannot swim, guys. Crushed dreams.
Actually, later on, there's one quest when he'll be so drunk that he will swim again. And it will, once again, end horribly.
Uh-huh, there you go. Is he swimming in a bathhouse?
You can consider it swimming, yeah?
Okay. There was actually also some wildlife here, so if you're lucky, then you can find crabs and little animals here as well that you can pick up and eat, right?
Yeah. And you can, once again, you can cook them, smoke them. So yeah, there's like a lot of, there's quite a big variety of animals now, and also very nice new animations of all those animals. So you really feel when you actually met a deer in there, and you saw that he could turn like pretty smoothly and everything. The level of polish in everything. It's the KCD2 is the game we really wanted to make. KCD1 was like I loved the game, and I spent 6 years on the game, but I loved the game. But we were really trying something that was like little above our capability. And now this game is the thing we wanted to make, and we hope that you'll, we really honestly hope that in the end you'll appreciate it.
Do you think I should show the community, the chat, what they can also do if they're at beautiful places like this?
Yeah, sure.
But that's kind of a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. It's a little feature.
It's a little feature, but it's kind of a spoiler. Guys, do you want a tiny little spoiler? Like a tiny one. It's not a story spoiler.
They know already.
They know. It's not peeing. That would be very funny. But it's actually finally we have a photo mode in the game, right? So you can watch wonderful Henry staring into distance, but also you can whoop and hide the hints, and you can do the most wonderful
nice
screenshots you want to do. The camera is tied to Henry, so you cannot fly extremely far away. It's also physical, so you cannot go through walls or something like that.
Yes.
But there's a tiny gimmick.
Which, there's a story about it. Try to end the photo mode.
End the photo mode. Guys, take care what's happening now.
What a view.
Yeah. When the photo mode ends, Henry will comment on what you did in the photo mode. Well, it's a generic. He will basically say like
nice
what of you are nice or something like that. But when we are like trying to implement photo mode, there's like this issue we're trying to solve, because photo mode can be used to kind of cheat when you're when you're trying to stealthily approach something. We didn't want you to like look around the corners, but we didn't want to limit the photo mode too much. So what we did is that when the photo mode ends, Henry will comment, and that little saying of his is actually heard by people in the world. So when you're like really trying to, approach somebody in a stealth and you'll cheat in this way, when Henry says nice or what of you, the guards will say, what? What was that? And they'll look at you and go and search that place.
I think that is such a tiny detail, but still, I think KCD is all about the details, and this is like so nerdy and so cool. Really. So when you end the photo mode, Henry barks something, and the others will hear it, so you cannot use it for while stealthing.
Very similar thing, but when you're talking, as you are like making fun of our dirty Henry, now, when you're dirty, you actually smell. And when you're like in stealth, people can actually smell you. So when you're like trying to approach the guard to stealth kill him, he can actually smell you and turn around. He has like completely unique dialogues about that. He'll like turn around, he'll just try to sniff like, what the hell is that?
And I ask you, what the hell is that? Because this looks like a cave or something, and since we are in the Trotsky area, an area that is also called today the Bohemian Paradise.
Yeah.
It's full of those sandstone formations, rocky mountains kinda, and they have little caves and valleys and canyons.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what can we expect there?
Well, a lot of that, a lot. In some of those, there's like a hidden stuff. So you can, if you explore, we really, that's another thing I think that's way better in KCD2. There's a lot of interesting things to like find in the world. It's in most of them there's some little story, even if it's just environmental storytelling. There's something, Henry will comment on something. There will be things to loot and stuff like that. So these are like especially good places to look for something. But be careful, because 15th century Bohemia, it was in a civil war. A lot of bandits, a lot of soldiers or soldiers fleeing. So it is a dangerous place. So be prepared. And as you guys saw Toby when trying to fight, in KCD, every fight should be impactful. You shouldn't just blindly rush into like people, because it is dangerous. You are supposed to use all the tools you have, you can use. You are supposed to try to talk somebody out of fighting. You're supposed to try some potions. You are supposed to try to kill a few of them from stealth first. So be careful about it.
And since we were talking about smelling, is this perk still in there that if when you have flowers in your pocket or herbs that you smell actually good?
Yes. And there's also a lot of hidden perks. Actually, I don't think nettles, because nettles don't grow in this kind of biomes. But for example, a good hint to our players: if you pick a lot of nettles, there's a hidden perk that will permanently raise some of your stats a little bit, but it can help you at the beginning.
Well, it's not a hidden perk anymore.
It is not. It's hidden for most of the players.
Yeah.
Only the people on the stream know.
You qualified ones who were with us through this entire stream. You now have this super secret OP.
Something similar was in KCD1 actually, but there's way more. There's definitely more of these in KCD2. So explore, try things, try new things. We're really trying to reward players that are trying new things, trying new approaches. Yeah.
Okily dokily. So we will now go again, pick those flowers, and then address.
Maybe I think from there, there it is. You can see the Geleov pub, which is I think the biggest pub in the region. It's pretty big. Also, some very interesting quests are there, so I definitely suggest going there. There's bathhouses also, so once again you can use baths there.
Bathhouses, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Can I slip from here?
You can't slip, but you can fall.
I will not try it.
And you can see, for example, on the left, there are some birds flying there.
Yeah,
I am not thinking this is intentional, but sometimes birds can lead you to places.
So you know what place we need to go now? Pick some flowers, because our best friend Hans is still in his last moments there, and we were just sightseeing. So we should not do that. Hop. And I will scare the deer. Go away, deer. And give me the sage.
Yes.
Purple flower.
Okie dokie.
Sage.
And the chamomile, which is here.
That's it.
Now,
Chamomile.
okay, before we go back now,
I've got all the herbs
I
need.
will
So
do
back to Bajana on the
something.
double.
No, wait, let
Sooner
me
Hans gets that remedy, the
get
better.
the autosave first, and then I will put on some armor, some slight one, and then we want to show you again about how the game plays differently and how stuff will change according to what you do and how you decide and which items you choose to wear and so on and so on.
Yes.
So let me just quickly initiate this. Yes.
There it is.
Now we go into the inventory, and I will take what I looted earlier from this wonderful gentleman, the dirty bastard. Dirty and naked bastard.
Maybe you can talk about outfits. It's a new thing.
Absolutely. So look on the right side. You see that everything is marked with a yellow shield right now in the inventory.
And there's a yellow sheet
And
below
there's
Henry.
a yellow sheet below Henry, because we can now actively change outfits like that. So you can have 3 pre-prepared outfits.
Yes.
That comes really handy. So I would recommend something like a, let's say, fighting outfit, a stealth outfit, and maybe a speech outfit or something like that. And you can pre-prepare those sets, and then with a click on a button in your inventory, when you're not in the middle of a combat, then you need to have some safe place and some quiet place. Then you can like change the outfit, but you can prepare, which I think is a quality of life improvement. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of them in the game, you know, because that's something we wanted to improve a lot. The game should be like now much smoother to play. You should be like way easier to learn. The depth is there. It's maybe even. The game is maybe even deeper, including the combat. There are some like very advanced moves that weren't in KCD1. The depth is there, but it should be a little easier to get into it, a little easier to learn everything, a little more descriptive.
And I will now. We have the different outfit, of course, but also this belt that I'm wearing is a weapons belt. I call it a Batman belt because you can put different weapons now on this belt and have a quick swapping system now that you can quicker and easier change weapon according to situation. So you can have, depending on your belt, you can have several, and yeah.
I don't think you have equipped the gambeson. I think you're still wearing the tunic. You can. I think you have it in an outfit, but yeah, this is the outfit you want.
Okay, there you go. So
and you can actually see if you like you look onto your right side, like a little right, and you can see if you go to the secondary stats, you can see now your intimidation is 10 actually. Change the outfit on the left. Yeah, in here. Yeah, and go back. And now you can see it lowered a lot, 6, because you know depth of the systems. When you're talking to somebody or when you're fighting somebody, when you are wearing a strong armor that's fully, you know, blooded, you know, completely covered in blood, you are more intimidating. And the same actually, you know, even in dialogues or even in other systems, it same works against people. So for example, if you will loot somebody's armor before, for example, a fight in some quest, it will be easier to intimidate him because he will feel weaker because he doesn't have his weapons, he doesn't have his armor. So all these systems are kind of working together to give you this kind of options once again, or to immerse yourself in all those things you can actually do.
I will show you now something. I will keep the tunic, right? Because I want to show you something.
I think you're still pretty intimidating because you have the weapon and everything.
Okay.
If you want to show what I think you want to show, go there naked.
Naked?
Yeah.
But with a
or at least
with
tunic.
a tunic.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check. Intimidation. Yeah, that's nice. So at least we have the tunic. We need a weapon. But I will take my favorite weapon here, which is the axe that is lying here around. And I want to show you now something, guys. So a little spoiler. First of all, I take this weapon. Remember earlier when we arrived here. Let me equip this just in case things go south. When we arrived here earlier, they immediately attacked us because they saw the guy. If I'm not wearing a weapon right now, it's on my belt, as you can see. And now if we approach the situation, they will at least not attack us right away. He will say, "Hello."
Come here and tell me who you are, or I'll
okay, Mikesh, let's talk peacefully.
Lord von Bergov sent us to find the renegades who ambushed some knights' company down by the pond yesterday. A couple of them fled and are hiding out here in the rocks. So tell me who
I think the
you
dude
are
on the left has a trigger
and what
finger.
you
He
know
wants to
about it.
kill us desperately.
He's like,
yeah,
about to
let
come.
me in. So, what do you guys want to say? 1 or 2? We are the messengers when we were ambushed, or you don't look like von Berghoff's men? 1 or 2? Tell me, 1 or 2? A lot of 2s, some 1s. Okay. So we call them out, okay? Good, let's do that.
You're from Lord von Bergov? You don't look like it.
Kurva! Watch your tongue with me,
The
boy.
international
When I say
word of
we're
peace.
from
Definitely.
From fucking
Everything
Bergov.
peaceful starts
Who
with.
else would
Yeah,
we
with
be
the K
from
word.
anyway?
Yeah.
You can talk to me or talk to Cold Steel. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
So, remember so first of all, there's different options here. Messengers, that was something we saw earlier. You're looking, we can use our skill, we can lie, or we can try and intimidate them. So let's try and that for a second.
Do you think I'm a fool? I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots of you types in these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well pissed off. So get lost and don't come back, or we'll
Get
take our
lost,
axes to you.
scum.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. The thing is,
And another thing, and I think only KCD does that, when you fail something, there's a unique lines for all of them. So they actually say something instead of just a fail. And most of them are really funny. It's actually really good to really try. But now you're without a Gambason, so let's see, Toby, how well you can...
Oh, God.
Yeah, good one.
Oh, that will be hard. That will be hard. There's two of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're
oh.
dead. Yeah.
There I'm dead. That's very sad. However, let's try again. And let's try something different. Because earlier, when we looted the different armor types, right? And let me change that outfit again. Oh, I don't have it yet. We have the bloody stuff, the Gambason, the vagrant boots, and so on. And those are, especially because they are bloody, right? They are more intimidating. And if we go there now again, let's see that. And I mean, that is something that all RPGs kind of do, or many of them. But the point that we are trying to make, that will come, the revelation comes right after that scene. So let's put that weapon just in case.
Hey, you!
What's
what do
up?
you want? Lord von Bergov. A
Yep.
couple of so tell me who.
Yep. You don't look like von Berghov's man? Exactly. And now, if we say
I'm a fool.
same thing,
I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots
and
of
we
you
look
types
like
in
a
these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well
effing
kicked
killer
off.
full of
Get
blood.
lost and don't come back, or we'll take our axes to you.
Easy there. We're no robbers, we're just carrying out orders. We've had a look round here, so we can be on our way again.
And they're just free.
And goodbye, you scoundrels. So, now you think, okay, well, many RPGs do that, but...
Yes. Actually, this is just, well, it's not a little thing. It's a kind of like a big deal. These two guys, they were not just random bandits. They actually have a role in later on in the story. They're not the main characters. If you kill them, you'll not like lock your quest or you'll progress. No, not at all. We don't want you to reload. But there's like these little consequences. So actually those guys, later on, you can actually befriend them and they can help you in some of the quests. They are, I think, they are like in 3 quests where you can meet them, where you can talk to them. At the beginning, actually, they can make one quest a little harder because they can recognize you. They'll try to get somewhere and they will recognize you. But later on, you can befriend them and you will actually, you know, have a lot of common in them with them.
And by the way, as Prokop said earlier, they have unique lines for almost everything. Did you see that he was just asking me, why the heck are you running around with a weapon in your hand? So I had my equipped weapon, and he was reacting to that. And again, that is what I'm trying to tell you all the time. The world is so reactive to you that it's really, immersiveness is extremely important for us. And now, if we tell him, listen, I'm Henry from Skalitz, as the other option.
You really are trying to win at least once, don't you?
Absolutely. Now
you feel ashamed a little bit with your combat skills.
They will call me the Butcher of Skalitz. Yeah. They will know who the heck I am.
And an escort would be good too.
Shit, how about that? I didn't expect you to fall for it so easily. We're not von Bergov's men, and we'll deal with him later. Like we did with you yesterday by the pond. But that's the least of your worries now. We'll take your Sir Hans with us. But we've no need of you. Farewell, Henry of Skalitz. This'll be quick, boy. This'll be quick, boy.
We'll win.
Yeah.
I believe in you. He's dead, yes.
Oh, where's the other one? Oh no.
You still let him go to your back, man?
Yeah.
Still have a chance.
Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake, yeah. But the dog can help you.
Yeah. Do it. Come on. For the camera. Nice.
Yeah, kill it. Yeah, that's more of your style.
And you thought I'm bad You thought I'm bad at fighting,
It was
but I'm
just a
actually good at acting. That's the part that you need
very
to...
proficiently stabbed him in the back.
Absolutely. So first of all, Ma, I'm bleeding. Well, no, Bożena, I'm bleeding.
You look a sight. It's a wonder you're standing on your feet. My word. They
So I
worked
said,
you over good.
the butcher of Skalitz. It's mere a scratch. Well,
You're dying there, man.
I mean, I still have HP, right?
Yeah, some.
It's nothing. A scratch or two. It's just a flesh wound.
Play the hero. I can't see much, but
This
I know
is
what a
actually,
battered fellow looks like.
this line is also reactive. She really does react to what your HP is and how hurt you are. So she sees through you. She knows you survive just by a tiny bit.
I'm still convinced I'm an amazing actor.
Yeah, an amazing fighter, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I run them. So they were fighting, what, 3 times? So they lost a lot of stamina and I was fresh for the last one. Yeah.
I reckon it was one of those who followed us yesterday.
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in the back. So, yeah, God be praised.
Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if
So
you
there's a
two are
lot of
knights, then
NVIDIA
I'm the
GeForce
Queen of
questions.
Sheba.
We don't have any info about these kind of things, so that is something I can't answer you yet, unfortunately. Also, PC specs, if you ask about them, those will be revealed by the end of the year. As I said earlier, or in the beginning of the stream, we are right now deep into optimizations and bug fixing. But I can already give you a little tiny information. We had a really breakthrough moment not long ago, which will be really good news for someone, which I'm not telling you yet. So, see you later.
Such a vague teaser.
Yeah, very vague. So, do we tell Bożena the truth or not? What do you think, guys?
Is it safe to tell her?
I don't know.
Do you believe her?
I don't know. I mean, she patched us up and she patched up.
She seems like to be a good person, but
I mean, everyone loves a good look. Everyone is saying one.
okay,
See?
yeah.
Can we kill? No. Okay, you deserve the truth, Bożena. Tell me
Bow
everything.
to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Kobyla, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trusky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord Bombergov. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them. Except I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Now, don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But be careful while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly.
Mikesh and
What he
Kozichek.
needs
For
most
those who
now
speak
is that
Czech,
remedy.
they will
Have you got
know.
everything for
The
it?
rest, Google it.
Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you 2 the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy. But we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
And when she's talking about that her eyes are bad, you can actually see that she has like the eye illness that makes her see bad. It's like a custom made for her.
And we'll brew the remedy, right? So alchemy, of course, again, back in the game.
But damn it, Tobit, clean yourself. Do you see how dirty you are?
Yeah. Yes.
I've been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And not to worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it
Can
by
see the
heart.
little shade in her eyes, so this is
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
bug or something. This is like really
My word.
her having
Maybe
an
you
illness.
really are a noble
I love
soul.
how she misses that.
Just in case.
Yeah, that's another
That
thing we did.
front
We have
tooth.
like a different
Yeah.
teeth for different people. So we, you know,
Of course.
a lot of times in
Everything we
games,
need
even when
is
they're
in the
Middle Ages,
hut.
everybody has a
Let's get
perfect
to
teeth.
it.
Not in our game.
But on the contrary, there's a very, 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 very common misconception
True.
that everyone has black teeth, everything is falling
it's not
out,
true.
and like, that's absolutely
Because sugar wasn't
exactly
that consumed back
exactly,
then. So
exactly.
they actually had, even overall, the hygiene and teeth and everything was pretty good in Middle Ages.
Exactly. So absolutely. So let's blame modern food industry. So exactly the sugar is they didn't had sugary diets, so
Yes.
they were mainly meat or natural stuff. So there's really not much they can. Well, unless you get an axe in your face, but then you have other problems, I guess.
Yeah.
So should I check on Kozlicek and
Sure.
I will not pick
Make
them
it-
up.
You can use the compare. That's another thing that we did. If you
Oh, look,
press
here's a
Y.
pretzel. And
Oh.
if Sexy Biscuit Roxy is watching, the pretzel is for you. So, she hates the pretzels. So, doors and a key chest. Interesting.
It might be useful later on.
Let's take everything. Taylor's kit.
You can actually, you know, where we were teasing at the beginning, you can actually fix some of your clothes.
Let's check that out. So, it is in the
Other. Yeah.
And here we have the Taylor's kit. Let's take this one, for instance.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah, use it. And this is now like a quick way.
Yeah, you're
how to-
choosing which type of clothing you want to repair.
Now, you might say, hey, Toby and Procker, wait a moment. How can you, with one tailor kit, repair all the items you have? Well, there's an answer.
Yeah, actually, every tailor kit has like the condition, which is like what you see under the little heart there. And based on the price of the things you are repairing, it kind of lowers the condition of the tailor's kit. So if you're trying to repair like way more fancy things, way more fancy clothing, it will take more of your repair kits.
And I think that's absolutely fair. I think, again, that is how to balance it out a little bit
Yeah,
so that you
yeah, yeah.
cannot repair your own stuff all the time. So the super heavy, super valuable stuff you either repair with a lot of these kits or you go to the city and get it
And
done.
there's also associated skill. So if you are
Oh.
better at that skill, for example, it will be like easier for you to repair things. You will lose less of your repair kits. But also there are specific perks in that skill that will, for example, make the things better if you repair them. Like you can pet them to make them more stealthy or do some other stuff with them.
I took the bone comb because I have a very wonderful beard in real life, and that needs to be combed sometimes.
Obviously.
But back to business. Hello, Bozhena. How close can I get to you? Okay, too close. Let's check out her wonderful, beautiful alchemy hut. And you know, that is something. So we get very often the question between realism and gameplay. And it's really important to mention that in the first place, we are absolutely working on a video game.
Yes.
First and foremost, right? The realism part is something that we use to flavor everything. That is the tools, the work, the kit that we are using to build everything, to craft everything. But realism can never stand in the way of fun gameplay. So we need to find a balance. And that's like a daily struggle we have.
Yes.
And the alchemy, for instance, the potions are somewhat funny, of course, sometimes. However, still, what we can see here in the book, for instance, these things are actually based on real herbalism that was used in the Middle Ages, right?
If you know, maybe even some of your grandmothers might used a chamomile decoction it really helps with healing, for example. For example, you can see this is like completely new art, and all those herbs actually exist. And if it says it grows in roadside stitches, in clearings, and where there is relief from the sun, and it grows there in real life. If you learn from our game where the herbs grow, you can actually find them in the real world as well.
Exactly. And if it says it's poisonous, then don't try them in real life.
Don't eat it.
Someone was asking if we can carry the book around. No, the books are always put here,
No.
but...
Actually, if you can't do now because you're in the tutorial, but now, yes, in KCD2, when you're leaving Henry actually take the book with himself, but later on, I think, I'm not sure if you can go there from the tutorial, but in your codex, every description of any herb or of any potion is described in your codex. So you can always know what you need for specific potions. You can always check whether it's worth it to pick these herbs and stuff like that.
Okay, so back to brewing.
Yes.
Chamomile decoction. Sleep heals you faster, and if good quality, energy replenishes faster while sleeping. Of course. You will need wine, 2 handfuls of chamomile, and a handful of sage.
Yeah.
Add the chamomile and boil for 1 turn. Grind the sage and add it to the cauldron, and finally pour. And we can see also a little wonderful picture there on the right.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct. To the table. So, first, wine.
First, you have to
So,
pour the
spirit,
white
no.
base into the cauldron. Choose
Oil,
the right
no.
pitcher from the shelf
Wine,
right
yes.
and
What
left.
was the last one? Water. No, we take the wine. So we are actually cooking mulled wine here for a little. It's almost Christmas, guys, right? 1 month to go, so a little mulled wine.
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Let's do that.
Glad to hear
Yeah.
it.
And maybe, many of you who played KCD1 know about it, but in this minigame, it shows our approach to everything. As Toby was saying, immersion is so important to us that even when you're in some minigames, we're really trying to avoid like UI-based minigames. We really want to have everything in the game. We really want you to be able to touch everything. So yeah, you can see. Can we briefly mention the other big minigame?
Well, I think the chat would love to hear about the blacksmithing.
Yes.
But, guys, we will not show it to you yet. That's quite a big thing. But let's see how much Prokop will actually spoil at this moment.
Yeah, I won't spoil much, but I'll say there's another really big minigame in our game, and it's kinda similar to Alchemy in a way that you can actually see everything, you can touch everything, you can really, it depends on your skill, not only on Henry's skill, but that as well, there's associated skill actually, but also on player's skill, just like the Alchemy.
So it's very, again, sophisticated, deep. You have to do stuff in order to get stuff. Someone might say, wait a moment, that's tedious. But again, on one hand, it is we try to immerse you into the world, and B, at least for the alchemy, guys, when you do it, when you brew the potions a little bit, when you level up the skill, you can then auto brew some of the stuff, right?
And it's also kind of smoother. We really try to polish the alchemy as well, so all the animations are a little faster. You can make something even faster, and also the potions are way more useful in KCD2 because just like you had that belt for weapons, you actually can have a pouch, which is like a real item which you can equip, and it can have slots for consumable items. So now, if you have some time, you can even consume potions in combat, and it can get really handy.
I remember the quest with Black, the tournament from Ratai in KCD1, where Black Pete, the cheater, where he was actually covering his blade, his sword in poison.
Yes.
And little
The Bane poison, the
spoilers,
strongest one.
Exactly, and little spoiler for KCD1, that's one of the reasons why he always won the tournament. Cheating guy. Okay, so we have this wonderful mulled wine now.
It will save, maybe it will save Capan, so it's important.
Absolutely. Let's take it. One thing I would like to mention as well, because we talked about it briefly, the alchemy system, and that is something, the saving system. That still works with those potions. I think it's very important to mention you brew a potion.
Finish, and I'll talk about the potions a little bit more.
Okay, what is really important that we learned from KCD1. So I know that some of you didn't like the system because in KCD1, in the beginning, when you needed the saving potion most, right? When the game was hard, when you didn't know what to do, it was hardest to come by. It was hard to find. It was hard to buy. You couldn't brew it yet, and that is something that from what we learned. So KCD2 will have not only more autosaves at crucial points, but the saving potion will be easier to come by, which is good for you. But we still want you to have this tiny little investment of using a potion.
Sure. I'll do the
I'll
best I
just
can.
let them finish
When
the
you're done
talking.
with that, go get some sleep. You won't miss anything, and you need the rest after everything that happened.
What I wanted to show you is that you actually did now, when you're brewing potions, there's like different qualities of potions. So it's much harder to fail completely. But if you're really good at it, if you have a real good skill and if you're doing it skillfully, you can do really good qualities of potions, which can have additional benefits. That's also a perk that will unlock a completely new level of potions, and these potions are really strong.
So, Božena wants us to hide those guys. I can tell you that it's again a role-playing thing, so we don't have to do this necessarily. Do you guys want me to bury those people before we continue, or do you say let's let them rot? But on the other hand, I mean, Božena was kind of nice to us. I mean, we could clean up. You know what? I'll do it. Come on, it's just Božena saved our life. She's saving Hans's life. So let's get rid of those. Look, the pig. This callous pig was watching us kill the guys. Maybe that's a druid that.
In our game?
Yeah, nah, I played too much Baldur's Gate. So.
You're not the only one.
Everyone did. Such a great game. Which leads me to another question, by the way. So since we were talking about designing and so on, and you are with the game, with the team very long, and the team is quite big, where do you draw your inspiration from generally when you come up with, I mean, yes, it's based on real history, so I guess you take it from history, but what do you do to come up with quests?
Yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, the design team is really there's a lot of people that really love RPGs, new ones, and even the old ones. And we really so there's a lot of inspiration from that, where we really like the freedom of choice, I would say. We really like that. But also, there's this combination of people that love games and also really, really love history. So we really read old books, we really read research papers, proper studying, proper research, and we take a little inspirations from there, from other games, from other media, and we're really trying to. Maybe another thing I would like to say is that we really honor players' time.
Oh yeah.
So every quest, even the tiniest quest in KCD2, is unique. There will be never any fetch quest. Never a quest that will tell you, listen guy, bring me 5 wolves' hides. Never. Every quest has a little story, new characters, something unique. So the KCD2 is a very long game, but we really respect players' time. There's never something that will just prolong the game unnecessary.
Unless you want to, like burying those corpses.
Yeah, they are things you can spend infinite time, doing potions or, hunting in the woods, and many people actually do. But the content prepared for the players is always unique.
Good sleep will make a new man.
So I would like to take care of that other corpse, but it's gone. No. But doesn't matter, we go to sleep.
Yeah, let's go sleep.
And they will magically vanish, like they did right now. Sleep and save. But till when?
Till the morning. Because this.
eat? Of course.
Yeah, you can.
You have to.
They did a fresh batch.
Absolutely. Give me more goulash or stew or whatever you want to call that. What is that food actually? That's like one of the. It looks a lot like chili con carne, which
it's
strongly
not chili
believe
con carne.
it's not chili con carne.
Well, it's actually like a little historical fact. They're usually, they kind of used any food that they had in their houses, and they kind of brew this like a thing.
This
and
non-stop stew, right?
And in taverns, they actually had something on the stove all the time, and they only added new food, and it was always boiling, so it never got bad. Mm-hmm. And they just completely kept eating and eating from that.
And you know where you can read information like that? Well,
in our codex.
In the codex,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. There's like you can learn about history. If that's your thing, you can learn about history in here. Even like a little facts. It unlocks throughout the game, so it doesn't front load all the information at the beginning. For example, when you first go to the smithy, there'll be a new codex unlocked. You can learn about it. And you can learn about the characters. Handscape is first. There's always, well, not always, but there's usually a really good art associated with that. And, as we were saying, Hans Capen, your friend, is a real historical figure. Otto von Berghoff, the guy you're trying to deliver the message to. Another real historical figure.
Daniel Vavra.
Yes, Sir Heinrich of Leipa, yeah.
Sir Heinrich of Leipa. And the nemesis.
Yeah, Marquard
von Aulitz.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And you can learn about society, about crafts, about everything. And in the end of the game, there'll be a huge, a list of things you can learn about. It's the abduction of Wenceslas, the rightful king.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The burning of Skalitz, right?
Yeah. The thing that started it all. And also on the left side, if you go to the left, when on the chat they were asking whether when you go to the herbs, and now to the herbs.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
You have basically everything you need for the alchemy. You have it here, so you can learn. You can see how many of every herb you have in your inventory, so you can quickly check what you have, what you need to do. There's always a little description that tells you where it grows. Yeah, useful information.
Absolutely. Burning of Skalitz. This is, guys, where everything started.
Yeah.
February 13th, I think, 2018.
Yes, exactly.
That is where everything started. Thanks for the guys that were supporting us from day one, pretty much. Which started way earlier in Kickstarter, but this is where KCD1 started.
Yeah, but honestly, really, we are deeply thankful. It was like a long shot to make KCD, and we did it. And you guys really, you did like the game, and that's the only thing that enabled us to do this KCD2.
Absolutely. So let's go outside.
You can see this is a different time of day. So the lightning is a little different, the fog is a little different.
There's one less chicken than before.
Yeah. Evil Toby.
And there's our...
And Hans Kenkoven is alive.
Hooray!
Henry! Come and join us!
It's your murder!
Yeah. I think she saw the dead body or the dead chicken. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of both. But anyway, this is the point where our little... story ends for today. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, if there's anything that is stayed unanswered, now is the time to ask, and we will try and accommodate where we can.
Yeah, if you have any questions, we can briefly talk about it. Wolf in the forests. Yes, there are wolves in the forests, and they are dangerous. Yes.
Another spoiler, new information.
It's just a little thing. I think you should.
Good morning, Henry.
Yeah. This is like the conversation at the...
No idea how glad I am to see you.
Aren't bugs a wonderful thing? But don't worry, as I said, we are neck deep into bug fixing and so on. And this is again, as I said in the beginning, that's an earlier build, an older build, I mean, so probably fixed already at this point. However, this is one of the few recap dialogues we can see here.
And for that, I am in your debt.
Let's enjoy our wonderful best friend, Hans Capen.
Another question here. Is it possible to pass game as pacifist? Well, we really want you to give all the options. So most of the situations is you are able to, go without any fighting. You can, influence what's happening. You can avoid most of the fights. But there are some very unique story moments, big battles, which are awesome, by the way. I'm really looking forward when we could show that to you, where you have to fight. But even in those situations, you usually can influence how hard the fight is. For example, if you didn't kill Mikesh and Kozlik, they will help you in some of the battles.
Again, see? It's the little things, it's the little choices that can have a big impact on the game. And everyone is saying one, you want to really throw Hans Capen under the bus here. But you have to understand the situation that's going on here. With this kind of system of the dialogues where you can answer something, obviously someone who never played KCD1 before will not know that. So there's this kind of, this is kind of a way where we are trying to either give you the chance to say, yeah, I know how these things happened and the dialogues and the situations might change according to that, or you can learn what actually happened back in the times.
Well,
so, yeah.
There was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
I made it mad.
Well, he didn't.
When Hans chased after me,
well, he tried.
by a Cuban patrol.
But as we all learned, boars are being hunted with spears.
Yeah, and you can now use spears or long weapons.
Mercenaries from Hungary.
Yeah. And basically this is like another thing where, if you saw earlier, you could have cut the story short. But this is like the optional thing. If you, for example, didn't play KCD1, or if you just forget what happened, you can delve deep in these dialogues. You don't have to, you can skip them, and it's fine. It's not something that will like haunt you later. The story progress is just fine. But if you really want to know more, if you're interested in the lore, you can delve deep.
Shoot your questions, guys. We will end this stream shortly. We are getting closer and closer to the end.
How did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Transparency option for the UI? Nope, not at this point. This is what you get, and if we do something in future, well, then we tell you in the future.
There were two.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, al dentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
But you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
Yeah, and actually there was a question in chat as well. Pebbles, your first horse in KCD1. Yes, he is in KCD2. He's a little hidden, so you need to find him. And there's also a way to make him better. It's hidden as well. But yes, if you loved Pebbles, you can actually use him, and he can be really good in KCD2.
I like how you call everything hidden, but say it to the millions of people that are watching.
I didn't say how to achieve that, so it's still, the mystery about
Dude,
it.
If there's one thing that is common about me, then I love to spill the beans. So be my guest.
I'm a little bit more careful than you in this.
Be my guest.
It's like a little teaser. that there are things to be found. And, you know, we always try to reward your, like, curiosity. We really respect your time, as I was saying, but also your intelligence. You know, if you try new things, if you try different approaches, the game will reward you.
And people were asking about Mutt. That's a secret. You will see it then in the game. Mutt, of course, we saw him in the trailer already, so Mutt is existing, but where is he right now? You will see.
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Tarnberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
How did you beat that cutthroat? I don't know. How did you beat that cutthroat?
True enough. Hey, how did you manage to get the best of that cutthroat the other night when you hauled me here?
To be honest, by a stroke of luck. We were fighting outside, but that fucker got a hold of his falchion and let me have it in the guts. I thought I was done for, but I groped around and found a pail and whacked him with it with the last of my strength. And luckily, I hit him a nice crack right on the noggin. Can't remember a thing after that.
My word. Fortune really does favour you. You chose your motto well.
Once we get back to Ratai, I'll have it inscribed on my shield.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things, but I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bozhena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that spade. We can't manage without it.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bozhena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right.
On the road, so there will be plenty of opportunities for you to actually get something in your hands. So, Victor, Kutna Hora. Where are we? What's that?
We are in the center of it almost, in one of the richest part of the city. Like you can see from the map that those outskirts and houses around the city walls are there. That's where the cheaper houses are and poor people live, and the center we are in, it's where all the wealthy merchants and nobility of the city have their big stone houses.
So I have to tell you, like, I might be very biased, of course, since I work at Warhorse, but this map, holy moly, look at all those details here. And I like the fact that even those maps are actually telling a little story. So if you look at them just long enough, you will find Easter eggs, you will find hints, you will see plot parts, you see someone is obviously stealing something here, there's some, this could be the Vlaskidvur, what's
Yes,
the
yes.
Italian court. This could be the Italian court. There's
Where
a
the money are
exactly
minted.
where the money is minted. This is like some miners. There's a miner's butt, and you see all the tiny little features, which I think makes this again. It's a tiny detail, but I think KCD is a lot about those details. That's what makes the game such a great thing. But how do you approach with maps like this? Do you I guess you take like real references or?
Yes, like these are really nice work to do at the end of the almost end of the project. When we need to create this map, you need to have the city already built, so you know exactly what you are drawing. But interesting thing is those small funny elements and small funny moments. It's not there just because we think it's cool and it's funny, but it's also illustrating mentality of those medieval people, how they are. So they were having this kind of humor as well, and it's readily all over the books and manuscripts, and you can really find them in different ways. So we are just trying to tune with the mentality of those people, think about how they could perceive the world, how they were making jokes and so on, and then we are kind of approaching whatever we do with the same like worldview, with a similar mentality. So
That's very interesting. Now let's talk to this wonderful fellow here, Menhard from Frankfurt. Actually, some backstory. Menhard is trying to build up a fighting school here. However, he gets into trouble. And we will today play this tiny little side quest. I say tiny little, but what I mean it's a huge side quest. So let's take a look.
Who are you? Ich bin Menhard, ein Meister des Langschwerts aus Frankfurt. You will not find ein besser Meister for miles around, I tell you. And with whom do I have die Ehre? Who are you?
Henry. I'm pleased to meet you.
Heinrich. Sehr schön.
So he talks this funny. In Germany we say Denglish, which is like German English. He's German. He came to town and he. So for those who know Bohemia by that time, or especially like places like this one, were actually pretty crowded with people from all over the Holy Roman Empire, Italians, French, Germans, Luxembourg, and so on and so on. So they were all roaming the places, and especially here in Kuttenberg, because as Victor was already mentioning,
challenge people to duels on the street.
Kuttenberg had it's called Vlaskidvur, or Italian court, and the Italian court is something like, think of it like the central bank of Bohemia. So that's the place where not only the money, the groschen, was minted, but also where the money was stashed. So naturally, a place like that attracts a lot of wealthy people, but also people who want to benefit from a place like that or wealth like that.
Therefore, I issue challenges to duels. I am looking for brave men to take them on as Studenten. The rest I want to prove cowards.
So, he's, as I said, he wants to open a sword fighting school, and we will accept the challenge from him and
no man is better. Certainly not
go into a little sword fighting. This will also show you the combat system of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is something that we reworked quite a lot, but not too much, if I can say it like that. So what I mean by this is that the combat system of KCD is still the combat system of KCD. It stays the same.
At least we'll see if you're telling the truth or just puffing out your chest.
It stays the same, but it is improved in a way that we try to make it more accessible, more interesting, more playable. What I mean by that is, for instance, the weapons should now play and feel differently. The sword is still the intricate, deep weapon that requires a lot of skill from you, can do the combos and everything, the tricks. But if you want a more straightforward, easier bonk on the head method, then you just go with a mace or an axe, which has a easier way how to use it, but equally successful, of course. Still, there's the stone, paper, scissors system, so the right weapon works against the right type of armor. But
Sagt man das?
yeah, the movement size have changed quite a little bit.
If you believe in
And
yourself.
this, when you do the perfect block, for instance, you don't do the animation, the
Master strokes.
no, the how do you call it when the time goes slower? Slow motion. The slow motion is not happening anymore. Okay, we should not talk over the NPCs. Sorry.
Naturally. We're not going to work up a sweat for nothing, right? A nice wager will bring some tension into it.
Good, good. I like your attitude. We have spoken enough. Let us do it.
Combat, as I said, still the same basics with the different direction. You can see that instead of the bottom left and right, we have one direction at the bottom, but this one is actually stabbing. So stabbing is not a button anymore, but it's when you aim downwards. But let's do this little thing.
So, Heinrich, are you ready?
And we have this chatting thing. We can directly talk to them.
Yeah,
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. The enemy is after me. Okay. Show me your skill, bro.
Wie gefällt dir das?
Zack. Dude. Ha. That's my moment. So the thing is, it's still a very stamina-driven combat. So as long as you have stamina, that long you can attack and block, of course. If you change the directions as I do now, oh, he dodged, very good. If you do that, then he will have a way harder time to block, of course. So directions do matter quite a lot. And as you can see, I won. Hooray!
That's enough! You know full well you've no right to conduct the art of sword fighting here. That's the privilege of our brotherhood.
Halt die Klappe. I am Meister of Longsword. You well know this right we have from the charter of your King Wenzel himself.
Meister Menhart, let me remind you that your petition was discussed by the town council, and your claim was rejected.
That decision was not just, and it went against the will of your king.
There's no use arguing, Deutscher. The council represents the king, and the council has decided in his name. Nicholas of Prague here is also a master longswordsman, and we don't need another. Any more than we need your foreign poses.
Right then. So I will face your Nikolaus or any other man. We shall see then who's der wahre Meister and who is just full of hot air.
Well, I'm ready when you are, Master Menhart.
No, I forbid any dueling here.
Master Nicholas, do not allow yourself to be provoked by this German cock-baiting. No doubt where they come from, they would rather hack each other in the streets than respect law and order. But here, we have more sense and dignity. If anyone is to clash swords here, it will only be when our brotherhood convenes a tournament, not when some Hundsfott feels like it.
Fick dich, du Metzgerschwein. Enough of this, all of you! The council has decided this matter, and I won't waste any more time with your squabbling. You've infringed on our regulations, and it's not the first time. You'll pay a fine.
Scheiße. That is ungerecht. Not just.
And you will be banished from the town, so that nothing like this happens again.
Okay, so as you can see, things are going downwards, and we have a persuasion system that is way deeper than it was before. You can now see speech, charisma, and might, and the counterparts, right? Domination, dread, and so on. So they are kind of working a little bit like yin and yang, positive, negative, kind of. Might, here, mighty knights lead a good life, and so on. Dread shows that the weapon at your hip isn't just for decoration, and so on. So you can either try to use persuasion in a good way or in a negative way to get to the end or to get to what you're trying to achieve. And it again works as in KCD1. So you can have better stats, but it also depends a lot on the situation, on your clothes, on the where you are and who you talk to, and so on. Okie dokie. Some decisions are timed. I am a super buffed Henry right now, so it really doesn't matter at this moment. So Menhard is a friend of our King Wenceslas. I think
Councillor, Menhard and
that's a
Arn
nice thing.
are friends of our good King Wenceslas. That's why they have his charter, isn't it? You don't want to treat someone of that stature like a common criminal or troublemaker. Show them the courtesy they deserve.
Fuck courtesy. To the pillory with them.
Trampling their honor and dignity underfoot is the same as trampling on the honor and dignity of our king.
Easy, Master Butcher. Kindly leave this matter to me. So, Master...
Henry.
Henry here is right in some respects. You have a charter from King Wenceslas, which, in truth, I cannot simply ignore. You will not be banished from the town, but I warn you, should this be repeated again, it will not be overlooked.
Ich verstehe, Ratsherr. Yes.
Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Nevertheless, you have actually been conducting the art of sword fighting illicitly. You shall therefore pay a fine, to which the Kuttenberg Sword-Fighting Brotherhood will be entitled for the infringement of their right, which also applies to your eloquent spokesman, Henry.
I think he didn't break any law.
Councillor, that would be all well and good if things were as you say. That's not actually how it is. Because Meister Menhard here was not conducting any sword fighting art.
Horseshit! What else would you be meeting up here with swords for, eh?
If he had actually been conducting the art of sword fighting, but Master Menhard here was only defending his honor in a duel because I wronged him.
Yeah, that is true.
Every man has the right to defend his honor. But tell me, how exactly did you offend Master Menhard so inexcusably that it came to swords?
Okay, now guys, quickly. We insulted his art, seduced his daughter, killed his dog, slandered him, cheated him, or cheated him at dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Be quick. Quickly. 1, dice, 1.
It's the daughter.
Daughter?
I seduced his lovely daughter. I'm not going to tell you everything I did to her, though.
Du Tier! Ich werde deinen Schwanz abhacken!
Well, he doesn't like that
But
much.
It seems Henry's tongue isn't the only organ he likes to exercise.
Yeah, that's what Ulrika said too, in between moaning.
Halt die Klappe! I will cut off your Schwanz and shove it down your throat!
I understand, Menhard. You're in the right. Do what you want with Henry, but not here. Take him off somewhere into the
You
woods.
guys are monsters. Now, Menhard is angry and Henry is a seducer.
Komm, Heinrich! We are lodging in the Schenkel Kaiser Karl, not far from here on Merchantstrasse. We will discuss our business there.
Okay, so the quest continues. We will continue a little later. So, of course, I saw your questions. As I said, I'm not so fast in reading, so sorry for that. Let me go through a few things. So, first of all, this build we are playing is a tiny little bit older, so it's from Gamescom. And you can already see what a great state that game is. Gamescom was in August, right? We are now in November, so there's months of bug fixing and optimization going on. And as you can see already, I strongly believe that the game runs extremely well. The thing that Henry is blonde, that's a bug, obviously. He's not supposed to have that. Just happens when you have this particular hat on his head. So don't worry, Henry is still the same Henry, but the hairstyles, of course, is let's say modernized. Not modernized by modern standards, but modernized like he looks a little bit different, better than he did in KCD1, which is due to the technology being better that we're using. So it's not like he aged or something. It's just the tech we are using is so much more advanced than before. Well, it's still the same CryEngine, but the way how we use it and the way how we utilize it and the way how we use every inch and pinch just makes him and everything else look so much better. So
yeah. Like the whole clothing system was redone basically from the scratch. So we wanted to keep still the layering, still the nice combinations, and it needs to work for Henry as well as NPC, so you can use the cloth of the people in Europe or whatever. but the system behind it is the same as all the technology behind the faces and hair and so on.
So don't worry, the combat will not be easier per se. So when I say
I'm in no
make it
mood
easier,
for nonsense.
oh,
So no messing about. Got it?
who are you? Where are you? Him? Okay.
Don't worry, I'm a saint.
So that's the chat system I was mentioning earlier. So people are randomly talking to you, but they're not locking you into a speech or in a dialogue, which is pretty cool, I think. But what I mentioned earlier, I forgot what I wanted. Easier. So the game is not, the combat is not easier at all. It's still the absolute same system it was before. The only thing we are changing is that the weapons play differently. So the sword will be still the same sword gameplay as you know from KCD1. But if you as a player say, hey, I didn't enjoy that, that's not my, I don't want to do that, then you can use different weapons that will play differently and therefore give you a different feeling. So it's not easier or dumbed down or something like that. It's just, yeah, we enhanced it, if you want to call it, if you like that word more.
The learning curve is different.
Yes.
That's,
Okay, so Kutna Hora, it's a real medieval city, as a matter of fact. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and we rebuilt it into the year 1403. You can visit it today, the town. You can visit it today, of course, but it doesn't look exactly the same how it does right now. You had to do a lot of work to make it look this way, right?
Yeah, in a way you say a lot. It's probably way more than people can imagine. It's I'm always saying it's we are really shooting ourselves in the leg. It's like the amount of work you would do for any game, and then you add this whole research and kind of historical, almost scientific approach to it. So you need people. There are basically people who don't do anything else than specializing on medieval architecture, for example. So we have one guy who is like expert in medieval architecture, and that's the whole process is that much difficult because of that. It's almost insane. It's really something which we have tough time to, but we love it. So it's we wouldn't do it otherwise. But sometimes it's getting really complicated.
You shouldn't.
But the advantage is also. So of course, if you build a medieval city, a fantasy city, you can just build it exactly as you need, which is an advantage for you. You can create the buildings exactly as you need them in the game. If you have a real city like that, you have to work with real data. Oh, the shop is closed, unfortunately. Can't show you the weapon shop. So this means that we have to take the historical data, and it's really nice that the city of Kutna Hora is actually working close together with us. Hi. Trying to when they found out that KCD2 will take place in Kutna Hora, they were actually very, very excited. I don't know if you know, but KCD is kind of a big deal here in Czech Republic. So that's pretty cool.
Can you turn it around?
Yes, of course.
This is one of the things, for example, like when people you introduce them, you are building medieval city. Most of the people will be really imagining those narrow, curvy streets. And for example, here we got even inside the team, a lot of impression was this is too wide. Why it's too wide and straight, huge street. This is not feeling medieval. But the layout of the buildings on the street is basically based on the archaeological research. So we know a lot of buildings. It's not standing these days, but we know where the basements of those medieval houses were. So we use the map of those documented basements, which are, and then on this layout we built a lot of the city. It was really a big help, for example, in looking for the layout of the city itself.
They are fighting. We don't want to get involved. Excuse me, let me go through, and we will continue with the quest and talk to Menhard here. Hello, because he wants us to wait in the pub of Charles IV. Is that the pub of Charles IV?
Yes.
Emperor Charles, which we can of course see by this picture. Oh yeah, I said that earlier. The game is the build is from August. Sorry. July, August. So of course there's
You
a
will
few
put your
visual bugs
schmutzigen
here,
Hände on my
but as I
little
said,
Ulrika. I will put
absolutely
you on a
don't worry.
spike, du Tier.
We put a lot of effort and
Very
hard energy
droll,
to
Menhard.
optimize it
I
and
do
make
not
it
find it
as
drolling.
smooth as possible.
Keineswegs.
I only said it so they'd get off our backs, you know.
Ich weiß. But you should have thought of something anderes. Zum Teufel, you made me a big shame. I will have to fix this for my good name.
Sorry. I just said the first thing that came into my mind.
Ja, aber do not do it again. Klar?
Klar.
Gut. Auf jeden Fall, thank you for standing up for us and dealing with Fridush. We appreciate that. Be assured. It is good we do not have to leave the town or pay any geld to those fools. That would be eine Schande. A disgrace. Auf jeden Fall. It is not over yet with those Kuttenberger Fechter. We must somehow compete with them to preserve our honor and glory. It is not possible that a Meister such as I can be rejected and humiliated.
Richtig. Es muss Gerechtigkeit geben.
Listen, Menhard. Tell me what it's all about. You have some charter from King Wenceslas.
Ja, genau.
I think it's enough if he tells us briefly, right? There's a lot of things we have to go through.
Yes.
Or do you want to? Nah.
Just the bare bones, please, so I know what I'm getting into.
Klar. I have a charter from King Wenzel to set up here and lead a Bruderschaft der Fechter. Aber the Kuttenbergers invited Meister Nikolaus aus Prague and set up their own Bruderschaft. And the Stadtrat confirmed it and rejected our right. Vielleicht because Sigismund is here and King Wenzel is captured. And also the Metzger Emmeram has much influence. That is why I muss mich duellieren with Nikolaus and the anderen. To defend my guten Ruf and mein Recht. Aber they have refused, made cowardly excuses and want to get rid of uns.
But our right remains. The Charta vom König Wenzel spricht klar.
Ja, we cannot just walk away and allow this öffentliche shame to continue.
Menhard, ich habe dis Idee. Aber Problem ist, we need a third man. Aber jetzt Schicksalsschmeiß upon us. And Heinrich ist hier.
Verstanden.
Heinrich will greifen us an der Arme. Ein einfacher kleiner Einbruch and we will beat them in their own game.
What's he saying?
We need your help, Heinrich. You will have to do a little theft for us. It is an easy job, keine Sorge.
Yeah, I mean, since we started the quest already, right? We'll help him, good old Menhard. By the way, I saw in the chat that you like his German English. It's really amusing for myself as well.
All right. I have a feeling you're in the right. And besides, you serve King Wenceslas. You can count on me.
Wunderbar.
Also zugestimmt? You will not be sorry. I will teach you many secrets of die Kunst des Schwertes. I will make you a great Fechter. Arne, lass es uns hören.
Also, es ist einfach. You must into der Fechthalle einbrechen und ihr Gildenschwert stehlen and then hang it am Rathaus.
Menhard?
Es ist so. You must break into their sword-fighting hall and steal their Gildenschwert. Guild sword. They must not see you. You can recognize the sword sicher. It is surely a Meisterwerk. Then you must hang it on the Rathaus for alle Bürger to see. But no one must see you. Vielleicht it is best to go at night? Verstehst du?
Verstehst du? So this thing here on the left is one of the skills, right? So if and as I said, we have a pretty high level up Henry right now, so we go for that one. Sometimes when you go through skill checks, it's not only the let's say hard skills like speech, intimidation, and so on, but also sometimes but it was in KCD1 already when you learned a few perks, for instance, then you could use them in speech as well.
I'm starting to understand your plan. The Kuttenberg swordsmen display their guild sword on the town hall to announce that they're accepting challenges, right? Except they would never do that themselves. So, we'll give them a little nudge. They won't be able to back down, and Menhard will get the duel he wants.
Exactly, Heinrich. I see you know a lot about Fechter traditions. That makes me happy.
All right, I'll steal their guild and shirt and hang it on the town hall. Klar.
Wunderbar. The main thing is they must not see you. And if anything goes wrong, do not kill anyone. That would spoil our plan.
Yeah, murder can make things awkward.
Good. Agreed. When it is fertig, come and tell me.
Great comment, random text. I love stealing. So, we got a quest. Our task is now to go and steal the sword, the ceremonial sword from the other sword fighting school. I saw a lot of questions about the PC specs in the chat and also about DRM. So let's talk seriously for a second, okay? Guys, get ready. So first of all, PC specs, okay? That is something that is always being made in the end of development, right? So first you create the game, put everything in there you can, and in the end you are trying extremely hard to get rid of the bugs and to optimize it on all the hardware possible. There's a minimum, there's a maximum, you know that of course. Right now, as I said, we are deep into optimizations and bug fixing. I'm extremely positive about the performance of the game and also about the state of the game if you're bothered with bugs or whatever. So we will tell you very soon. We are finishing it up right now. I can't tell you yet, but as you can see, this runs I think 80 frames per second right now, and I play on a decent PC of course, but it's or maybe even 90. So that is pretty good, but I wouldn't be too worried of course. And now the other part is...
And I think people will be really surprised what kind of PC can run it.
Yes, absolutely. So don't worry about that, right? So again, as I said, we learned, not from the mistakes, but we learned from what we did in KCD1. We took way more time than in the first game for bug fixing, optimization, performance tests, and so on and so on and so on. And we are working on this right now. And not only on PC, also on consoles for the console players. So there's good news for everyone. Give us a tiny little bit more time, but I think by the end of the year we should be able to tell you exactly what you should what you should get. I personally at home play on a 3050, I think, and it runs butterly smooth. But as I said, give us some time on performance, on testing, and we will tell you soon. Okay, and now the other thing is, and let's give me a second here of your attention. So DRM, of course. So there's things floating here in the chat. There's things floating out in the internet, and many of those things are absolutely fake news. And you should be very careful with stuff you trust and see and take for bare coin. So I can tell you right now the exact situation. And the exact situation is that KCD2 will not have Denuvo in there or not have any DRM system at all. So we never confirmed it. There were some discussions, of course. There was some misalignment. There was some misinformation. But at the end of the day, there won't be any Denuvo at all. And with that, I would like you to close the case already. Stop texting under every post we do that Denuvo was in the game, because it's not. We never announced, we never said it will be there. As I said, bit of a misunderstanding. But as long, and that is something you should really remember. As long as Warhorse doesn't announce anything, it's not true. So we say the things once we say them, and once we say them, they are real and it's happening. That was with KCD2 the case, the announcement of KCD2. That will be with the specs, and that is, for instance, right now with the DRM. So let's bury that thing and let's never ever talk about it anymore. And what we can talk about though is the game. So let's resume and continue. Okay, so we are still on our quest to get the sword.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Stealing is a tiny little bit easier at night, so I might rethink my move here. But first of all, let's go in during the day. Let's try it at least.
One of the things you can see here is, as we spoke with the German guy, but as we go through the city, now you can see the architecture is a little bit different. That's because we are getting into the heavily German populated quarter. So this part of the city, a lot of the houses are built by Germans, and the architecture is a little bit different.
It's such a beautiful game, really. I mean, again, yes, I know I'm biased, but god damn it, that looks just amazing. And I'm really looking forward for when the game actually releases and you guys play it, and then you can visit the locations and go there and compare it to the game. Of course, as I said, as we said earlier, it is a tiny little bit different. Oh, I went wrong. I wanted to go through the front door first, show you the sword fighting school. You can visit the place. It will be a little bit difficult sometimes to recognize, but I think overall it's really cool.
I think you could go through the...
Yeah, no, it's
backyard.
too late. I go through the streets rather. Like, and all the nice clothing here. We have, I think, generally also a bigger variation of clothing, faces, hairstyles, voices, and so on. So generally when we said the game is bigger and better, I know it always sounds like a phrase, and probably it's also a phrase, but it's actually true. So we enhanced everything we could and tried to make it as nice as possible. Townswoman. This in front of us here is Haradek. It's actually a little, say, garrison place or little castle thingy in the inside of Kuttenberg. They, of course, since they had the central bank here, they needed to have some garrison, some.
It's actually not like that. It's more like the palace.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Like the nobleman's, and it's also this part of the city on the edge, on the top of the river bank. You can see here in this area, it's mostly like the palaces of nobility. The richest of the rich built those small castles for themselves in the city.
Search! Show me what you've got on you.
Who? You? Sure.
Go ahead and search me. I've got nothing to hide.
Close to the others. It's not safe.
Everything in order. Carry on.
Now I hope this doesn't happen once we have the stolen sword, because if they found contraband on us, we all know how this is going to end. I just briefly go outside maybe. There's several gates on Kutna-Hora, all of them look completely different. For those Czech people among you, you might know what's here in front of us. It's a huge church in Kutna-Hora, which today is something like the... Yeah, let's say like the... How would you call it? Like the city's monument, kinda. It's a huge church, very beautiful. We shot our announcement video in there, but as you can see in the game, it's just being built at the moment. And we have this wonderful view here. Nice little guy walking with his thingy there. It's a all the smoke is coming from the mines, and of course it's a silver mining town. So expect an upper world, kinda, and also a mining underground, which we don't want to spoil too much about it, but you can use it for your advantage, maybe for stealing.
Careful! God is punishing us for
Oh, there you go. For stealing or also questing and so on, so this will be pretty interesting. Right. I like how all the buildings look different, how they're all unique, how nothing is like brush painted, and that is very nice. Anyway, the dude who was actually looking for us or checking us out is one of the guards here, but we have to go down here because this is the sword fighting school, and that's the sword fighting school we are supposed to infiltrate.
Build up your body as well as your spirit.
Look at that. He's actually a colleague. He's from the cutscene department, so some of the faces.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
I want to sword fight. No, I don't. I want to steal your sword, but I can't tell you. So, advantage of daylight. We can go in, and it will be all fine. It's not disallowed to be in here, so it's not a crime. If we go, but the inside here is the sword that we are trying to steal. But the disadvantage to go in during day is that, of course, all of them will be on their toes and they will see us if we will be trying to steal something. On the plus side is that all the doors are open, so when going in there, yeah, see, it's getting tricky already, and we see the bunny on the top, which is also a new icon from the game. So when the bunny is there, it's something like, it gives you a status of what you're supposed to do, or where to be and not to be. Bunny tells us to F off, so we are effing off right now. And it's fine already. So going in during day might be a bit tricky, and that's why let's try and sneak in during the night. But first of all, let me go here outside, because if I time skip here inside that building, they will of course kick me out the moment they feel like I shouldn't be there anymore. Wrong button, there you go.
It was one mass.
Let's go to the night. And it's nighttime. Hello, sir. It's night. Remember that at night you must carry a torch. Cool thing is that if you time skip to the night, then you will automatically equip a torch, so you don't get caught by a guard while time skipping. That's a bit weird. So, up. Let's go. So, the concept artists or your department are the ones that are working closest with the historians, which is, I think, pretty interesting information. Most people, when they hear concept, they think of people drawing orcs and elves, but you are the ones that are closest work. We have the in-house historian, of course, but she's working with the others, but you are working with the most of the historical data. Can you say something about that?
What do you want to hear? Like, there is, it's like you are saying, and it's one of the tough part for some people who are coming into the company when they are really skilled draftsmen or can paint real nicely, but then we ask them to really dig deep. Fortunately, you would do even the fantasy game, the approach would be similar. You do some research, the kind of thinking about the stuff is, if you are doing it well, you do it similar as we do. It's not a huge difference, but we are kind of bound much more to respect what we learn and like don't change the stuff just because we think it's looking cool. That's the biggest challenge. Like, you are not always allowed to do what you think it's just cool. It needs to be cool, but also it needs to fit into the world.
Yeah, but I think that is also where we sometimes have to draw a line, because and that is very often I'm being asked, like, if realism isn't like a handicap or something. But you need to understand that we are not killing fun gameplay in order to make something super realistic but super boring or tedious or something. The point is that the realism part is something like the vessel or the toolbox or the techniques we are using, the story we are telling, the way how we write the dialogues, how we think about questing and so on. So that is not the issue. However, sometimes, mostly due to technical reasons, we have to bend reality a tiny little bit, and that is sometimes, for instance, that armor maybe is not maybe it's 100 years older or younger or whatever, and sometimes we say, hey, listen, it just fits so well into the setting we needed, or the streets of Kuttenberg aren't always exactly how they are in real life, because sometimes you just need that little twist and turns for the draw distances and so on.
But there are two things. First, with the armors, we are really trying to keep them as close as possible. So it's usually just the decision we are doing. For example, with one you can get with pre-order, we wanted to make kind of vintage armor, something like you get this luxurious vintage car, so this is vintage armor. So we did it like it's supposed to look like 50, almost 100 years old, like 50, I would say. So it's not like we just go through nice pictures of armors and batch them together, but this is exactly what we do. So even if you and even with that, we of course can make some mistakes. That's given. You will we have like around the guy who was painting the icons for clothing system. He did basically like 3,000 icons for the clothing system. So there's a huge amount of assets we have just for the clothing system. So it's kind of, you will have you will do some small mistakes on the way that's uninventable. But we are really trying to be as hard and looking for details and not forgiving ourselves to this bit. So, yeah. And the other thing with the trees, we are usually trying to find some other way, something which would make sense. So maybe it's not 100% like we don't know how it was, for example, but we always look for how it could be. We have maybe something similar in some different cities, maybe even in Germany. There is some similarities in those cities, so we can always get inspired by that.
That's a good point, because some of the stuff is destroyed already, so or just there's not so many things we can check out here in Czech Republic. So you guys are going further, trying to find information in France, Germany, England, and so on. However, you need to be different. You need to be careful, because things are also changing in looks and styles. People had different touches and different likings and so on. By the way, the reason why I was going out, because there was this dude standing around in the room, which I was a tiny little bit afraid that he will spot us. But I'm too good of a master thief here, so let's go out. Okay, I got that sword. We should be careful about the knights, the guards, because as you saw earlier, they can, if they want to, randomly search us. And if they do, they will find out that we have that stolen sword on us, because this ceremonial sword is obviously something that's not belonging to us. What is important though is, and that is I think really cool, quests play, and this was already part of KCD1, but we cranked up the volume again here for the second game. Quests do play different according to decisions and things you do in the questing. So I will tell you later about what would happen if they will caught us, if they would caught us, or if we would lose in the beginning against Menhard. But here's a very interesting church. Can you tell us why it has only one tower? Because it still has one tower today.
Yeah, you can see it. It's been built in that time, so you can see there's all around. They are just trying to build it, but that's, you already kind of mentioned the reason before. The whole city is undermined, and it was not really. It was dangerous to finish the tower. So when they found out, they just decided to not continue. So it looks almost the same today.
I feel like there's a pattern there. The Sazava monastery was never finished. Now this church is never finished.
And even Barbara took a few centuries to finish, so it's
wonderful. But there's a battlement up there. Do you know why a church has a battlement up there? Do you know it?
No.
I know. So the reason why they have a battlement is it's something like a local speaker in a way. So if you want to spread a message really quickly in medieval times, you can either send the guards and send messengers and so on, or if something is really bad, terribly, you go just on a very high vantage point like this church here, and then shout it down like, hey, fire or attack or whatever. So the battlement is not for protection, like to fight there, but it's just really just to be able to stand there and shout downwards. Show the inventory, please. Okay.
Yeah, so now you can change the cap.
Yeah. You want me to change the hat?
Yeah, remove it.
Okay. So now Henry's brown-haired again. So yeah, the inventory got a big overhaul as well, as you can see. There's still a lot of information there, but I think they're way more on point than they were before. It has everything you need. The crafting is there, the skills is there, all with the little tiny sub things. You can see that polearms now has their own weapon skill tree kinda. So pole arms are a thing in the game. Unarmed is a skill in the game. You can, for instance, if you have no weapon on in your hands, you can try to unarm or disarm the opponent. We have the different skills, of course. Here you go, survival, thievery, all the good stuff. And the missile weapons, the marksmanship, and so on. All the good things. Combos are in there, and everything you like. Kuttenberg, people of the forest.
And there was the question in the chat about the polearms, and you can have them in the inventory and just carry them around and use them as regular weapons.
Which is something a lot of people wanted. You can craft stuff. You can have the codex as well, as always. So as I said, there's a lot of cool things. Again, this is a build from August, so this is not final quality, of course. We will expand on a lot of things. We will change a lot of things. But I think all in all, gives you already a good first touch, impression of the game. I personally love those little pictures here. Are they still existing, or did you come up with your own ideas, or how does that work?
Some of them are being found around different cities in Bohemia, so they are maybe not this one on this house, but yeah, they are kind of legit, and we found a lot of mentions of them. And there is also some interesting stories about them, like this guy during the Hussite Wars. There were those different factions, and one rich man painted one of his favorite warlord on the wall, and then got really problem in the city council and needed to remove it later. So it was really popular, even to political statement or something. You just put your favorite site on the wall.
There was also something like medieval graffiti, right? Well, let's not talk too much about it, but let's just say that medieval graffiti will also play a role. I also like a lot the coat of arms here and the statues. It's such a common, people are saying that everyone in the Middle Ages had black teeth and everything is gray and dark and ugly and I don't know what, but the reality of, in of course peaceful times and in rich areas was quite different. Of course, if people were wealthy, of course they wanted to show off. Of course they had nice clothes. Of course they wanted to show what they have and brag if they could and so on. So
be careful.
And I especially like a lot this Kutna Hora with all the little markets here. There's a lot of different markets here and different areas. Because so KCD has the Kutna Hora has how many markets? 4, 5. There's a horse market, there's a coal market, vegetable market, weapons market, and so on and so on. They all are on different locations and of course selling different stuff, which is also a historical fact because of course they didn't want to have the animals right next to the vegetables and so on, and the coal is dirty, so it creates a lot of fuzz and so on. So it's quite cool, and I like these houses a lot here. It looks like an organ or something. Nice. All the shields. Heater shield. Night shield. These we can't take. No stealing, sir. Anyway, let's go back to our quest. So, Menhard told us now to steal the sword. We did that. And now he wants us to hang the sword on the council hall, on the city council hall, which is here. And as a matter of fact, if you today go to Kutna Hora, you will not find this building because it was completely destroyed. And as a fun fact, they don't know more or less, well, they don't know how it looked like, or they have some ideas, but they don't have facts. What they know is that there was an astronomical clock, but no one could tell us how it actually looked, so we took some famous inspiration from Prague, right?
It's not just the Prague, it's some other, even smaller clockwork, but yeah, it's one of the inspirations.
So let's hang the sword of the Kuttenberg guys here. Return to Menhard. So yeah, as Victor mentioned earlier, when there's no precise proof on how things could have looked like or how they look like, then we are trying to get our best, most educated guess, or at least to make it as plausible as possible. Okay, let's go back to Menhard. Can you dual wield? No. Is there going to be check synchronization? Yes, but I won't show it today. I will show it later this month on another occasion. Bruno Orloj DLC. Okay. Best game ever. Absolutely. Thank you. All the children are absolutely in school. You know, the thing with children is it's, again, mostly a technical reason. So if you have children, not only do you have different, again, more clothes, more items, more animations, and so on, are you able to fight them? Are they running away? It will get a problem with age rating and so on. So there's so many things connected to having children in the game that it's unfortunately a very popular RPG decision to not have any of those in the game.
Or maybe a punt.
What do you want a boat for?
So let's go. Where's Menhard? Is he here somewhere? Oh, no, that's not Menhard.
Look out!
Menhard is probably in the pub somewhere inside. Or is he not? Let me see. Oh, he's outside the street. Or is he... Oh, here he is.
But he was fit as a fiddle.
What happened?
You, sir, lost your clothes, but it doesn't matter. Because the town hall, the sword is on the town hall.
The sword is at the town hall.
Wunderbar, Heinrich. Let's go right now. It will not take long before the Gutenbergers hear of this.
Sure, I'll go with you.
Natürlich. Just do not forget to pretend you are surprised.
Fucking thieves.
No, no. We can't take it back now. We'd look like fools.
Na, was haben wir denn hier? I see the Gutenberg Bruderschaft has made a challenge to combat.
So, I see you have endlich worked up the
Magic.
courage to face us in public.
There's no need for mocking, Menhard. We've made our challenge, as you can see.
Wunderbar. Das freut uns.
Genau. We accept your challenge.
Well, since we've arrived at this point, listen up. It's time to put an end to this bickering. Besides, it will only benefit our town if the best of the sword-fighting masters takes charge here. So, whoever emerges as the victor of your tournament shall win the right to lead the sword-fighting brothership here. That will bring a just close to this whole affair.
Bei allen Heiligen, you have decided wisely, Fridush. It will be seen that it is we who were right from the start.
No way! You can't do this, Fridush. We set up the sword-fighting brotherhood. Stay out of it.
Nah, we will not doubt the council, of
Menhard has
course.
a charter from the king. He's entitled to defend his right in combat.
You keep your mouth shut, you thief!
Calm yourself, friend. It's not such a big deal, is it? We'll compete honestly against these Germans, and then we'll finally have peace from them.
All right, Nicholas. Let's show them Deutschers how we sword fight here. Because we ain't afraid of no one. You want combat? You'll get it. 3 members of our brotherhood will fight with 3 of yours. Each will have a bout with all 3 opponents, and we'll see who wins the most.
Du Schwindler! You know there are only 2 of us.
I agree with Emerem's proposal.
Kein Problem, Arne. We also have one promising student, nicht wahr?
I would like to ask you guys, but because there's a tiny little bit delay and most of the questions are timed, as you can see, I can't wait for the responses, but
Richtig.
I'll help Arne,
Fight on
Menhard.
Menhard's side.
Gut, Heinrich. Gut.
Ah, Just what you'd expect. Menhard making pacts with fucking thieves.
Was sagst
Excuse
du?
me?
Just that. Your little sticky-fingered Heinrich broke into our sword-fighting hall.
Now that's nothing but dirty slander. I never stole anything, you liar.
Pah! Swear it if you like. My conscience is clear, which is more than can be said for you.
You're telling the truth, Amaram. I heard about it too. Nevertheless, the duels will go ahead with longswords. But, because Henry committed a dishonorable deed against the Gutenberg Brotherhood, they shall be allowed an advantage. The Gutenbergers may fight in halberds and steel helmets, and the Germans will face them only in gambesons.
Es ist nicht gut, Menhard. Es ist ungerecht.
Moan all you like, Deutscher. You deserve it. Keine Sorge, Arne. Wir können es schaffen. Agreed. Komm, Heinrich. We must prepare for the Fechten.
So it was loose.
So,
So, Heinrich, we will engage with these Kuttenbergers. Endlich! Danke. You arranged it for us. Aber schade that they have seen you doing it.
I'm sorry, Menhard. I did what I could. Is it going to make things difficult for you?
Yes. The Kuttenbergers will have light armor, but we must manage it. I am more disappointed that they will now know of our kleine Deceit. Aber nichts. We can only restore our good name by victory in combat.
You can count on me, Menhard. It will be an honor to fight by your side and enforce the will of our King Wenceslas.
Genau, Heinrich. But first, we must make you one of us and accept you into our Bruderschaft.
All right. Is that a problem?
Nein, nein. You must only take an oath and undergo a test. We cannot just take everyone. That is our Regel. You must show that you have some skill with a Schwert and that you will not bring us shame in the Gefecht. So we know that you will not lose your life in combat.
Surely that's not necessary. After all, I defeated you the first time we met, remember?
Na ja, you are right. Herrgott, you must have been sehr glücklich. But you fought well, yes. And you showed that you have some skill. So, we can receive you into our Bruderschaft sofort.
Menhard, I'd like to join your brotherhood.
Certainly. Let us go somewhere more geeignet, so it has some class. Each new member must pay for acceptance. But in your case, since you have helped us, I will relieve you of that obligation.
Danke, Menhard.
And now, the oath. Arne will be the witness.
I will be honored.
Kneel, Heinrich. Hör gut zu. Do you solemnly swear that you shall act honorably and justly, and that you shall not bring shame upon your name or mine, or bring disgrace to the sword-fighting Bruderschaft, that you shall defend and adorn the reputation of the Bruderschaft and its rules, and that you shall heed my word in these matters, that you shall diligently train in the art of the Langschwert and not allow yourself to be shamed in combat, that you shall thus act for the greater glory of our Bruderschaft and our martial art, place your hand on this sword and swear.
Okay, now we can choose. Do we swear by the king, by the father, the blacksmith, or all the saints? 1, 2, 3. Father. 1, 2. King. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. By swear by father, the blacksmith.
By the memory of my parents, and by the soul of my dear departed father, Martin, blacksmith and sword fighter, I do so swear.
Stand as one of us. Heinrich, I hereby name you my student in the art of sword fighting.
All honor to you, Heinrich. It is good that you have come among us.
And now listen to your first lesson and always remember this principle. It is not important to strike, but to strike and wound.
I'll remember that, Menhard.
Gut, Heinrich. I shall make a great Fechter out of you one day. Let me know when you are ready. We will get to work and cross swords with the Kuttenbergers.
Actually, I'm an idiot, because when I was showing you how, the way how they found us was when I was trying to get there during day. Can you remember I was showing you the bunny thing? So I'm an idiot. If I wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have seen us. But on the other hand, it shows you that, as I said earlier, quests do play differently according to what you do. So now, since they know that it was us who stole the sword, stupid me trying to show you the bunny icon, then they get the advantage of fighting in plate armor. If they wouldn't have found out, they would be too embarrassed to actually admit it, and they would be fighting. We would both be fighting in light armor. So I think that's quite cool. And if we are being searched by the guards, then they would take the sword from us.
Today, 2 sword-fighting brotherhoods will match their skills. The Gutenberg Brotherhood, led by Master Nicholas.
Glory to Gutenberg! Kick those Germans' asses, Emmeram!
And the Frankfurt Brotherhood, led by Master Menhard.
It is an honor to be able to show off our skill in front of the whole Kuttenberg.
The reason for these duels is the dispute over the right to run the local sword-fighting hall and the associated brotherhood. The local brotherhood was founded by Emmeram the Butcher and his associates. What they did not know, though, was that King Wenceslaus had tasked Master Menhard to do the same.
The king ain't here, Emmeram is! The Brotherhood belongs to the Kuttenbergers!
And since King Wenceslaus cannot resolve the dispute, the town council ruled it shall be decided through a duel. So, the matter shall be settled before the eyes of the council, as well as the burghers of Gutenberg and God Almighty.
A wise decision by the council. Let the best master lead our brotherhood.
The duels will be fought with longswords. The Frankfurt Brotherhood will fight in light armor. However, the Gutenberg Brotherhood will be granted the advantage of the halberd, because Henry here present aggrieved them with dishonorable behavior.
Nicht nötig. Armor or not, we are the better fechters.
You got a lot of nerve for a young pup.
Enough of this. You will have the opportunity to face off soon enough.
Each dueler will face each on the opposing team, and whoever beats his opponent twice wins the duel. The Brotherhood whose members get more victories will be declared the overall winner. As is the law, all the necessary armor was lent to you from the town armory, and you must fight in it. If there is anything wrong with the armor, you can fix it with any of the repair tools you'll find in the armorer's tent. And in case someone gets seriously injured, the bathmaid will give them the care they need. Or Father Tobias will perform the necessary rites.
But I do not think it will come to that.
Now that everything has been made clear, swear before God. You will fight fairly, justly, and respect the judge's decisions, as well as the outcomes of the duels.
Das geloben wir im Namen des Vaters, des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
By God Almighty, we so swear.
All the requisites have been satisfied. Therefore, let us proceed to the first duel. Master Menhard against Lindhart, the cobbler.
Let's go. So they will now start the fight together. As I said, again, don't worry the little bugs here and there. As I said, that's a build we are having from Gamescom, so chances are extremely high that most of the stuff is already fixed. It's just it was very good stable one for streaming, so we use that one. Anyway, they are now fighting. As you know, most of all the NPCs are able to also fight, obviously. We did a big change in the combat, so that not every enemy will be able to counter parry you and master strike you and so on. So there should be bigger variety and so on, and not everyone will do the super moves, but you can get a good guess of who's fighting by looking, or how they are fighting by looking at them. I will take, what should I take here? Sweet pancake, of course, and maybe a roasted chicken leg. Give it to me. I will eat this and the sweet pancake. Hooray!
Today's first victory goes to Master Menhard. Let's see if he can keep it up, or if Linhart can even the score. Get ready for the next round. Henry, your villainy disrupted the court dispute, and I therefore ban you from participating. But because you have broken the law as one of Menhardt's duelists, your offenses also fall on him and his honor. I therefore declare the dispute settled in favor of the Kuttenberg Brotherhood, and you, Henry, will be punished according to the law by the guard.
Well, I screwed up. I don't know how I screwed up, but I screwed up.
Loitering around where you shouldn't have. And I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine, and if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
I said surrender.
All right, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Good. You don't have anything else on you that doesn't belong to you. In that case, an indulgence will suffice. Now, be on your way.
Funny. Okay, let me see. With maybe I have maybe that one. That one could be. Let's try. Tell Menhard. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Maybe we can save the situation. Yeah, 1,800 is really hard. We need the cash. But you get the bathhouse you wanted to see earlier, right? So it has something. Let's try again in fast forward mode and see if we can this time win fair and square. Well, fair and square stealing without anyone noticing us. But it's life, and life things happen sometimes, don't worry. As I said, very early build still, and these are really minor things that should be gone already. In the meantime, we will have a wonderful night stroll again through the city of Kuttenberg. By the way, whenever we are mentioning Kuttenberg, everyone's like so focused that one map is Trotsky Castle and the other map is really only the city Kuttenberg. But Kuttenberg, honestly, is just a very tiny part of the entire map. So if you look around, Kuttenberg is big, as you can see. Suchdol, oh my god. But still, it's just a tiny, well, on the map size at least, a tiny place in the entire map. So let's try again, and this time hope for the best. Hop, 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 hop.
Maybe hide a torch.
Oh, that's a good point. I also didn't check if there's someone here. Hop. Let's hide the torch. Sneaky sneak. So let's try again, and let's this time be undetected. So hop. But as you could see, the game makes much more autosaves than it did in KCD1, which is also, I think, good news generally. We still have the save system with the Savior Schnapp, so if you want to manually save the game, you have to use that item, that potion. But... oh, nice. At least the dude is not here standing anymore, that's a good sign. So hope for the best. So if you manually save, you still have that minimum amount we want you to invest this potion. And but so now from the feedback from KCD1, we learned, of course, that it's a system that has a lot of lovers, a lot of haters, but we stand by the design decision we did there. So you still have to do that, but in order to make it a little bit more usable, let's say, because in KCD1, when you needed the save potion most, it was hardest to come by. It was not easy to craft. It was extremely expensive. You could rarely find it, and so on. So this is something that will be different now. It will be easier to come by, and you will get it on your hands easier. But as I said earlier, we still want you to have that minimum invest of. Good point. Very good. Thank you, guys. Torch. No, that would be a shame if they would stop me and check me out for goods now. But yeah, we want that minimum invest of having that Savior potion, so that stays in the game. Okay, we're almost there. Running like the wind. Better don't talk to anyone. And let's see, this should be now better. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, hop. The problem was really not that they have the armor. The problem was that they saw me committing some crime, and I guess the crime system still triggered. But this should be gone now. No bunny. No crime. No witnesses. And no killing. Menhard wanted us to not kill anyone. That's also very important. Because otherwise we all know that Henry is a silent killer. Smooth killer.
Excuse me, but you can't just creep around.
Yeah, sorry. Let's just hope for the best. Sorry, don't mind me. Okay. Almost there. Almost. Too stupid to push the right buttons. Let's time skip to the morning and let's try again. So, about killing with no witnesses. Actually, the crime system got improved a lot. So, when they do not see you directly committing a crime, then of course, this was also already part of KCD1, they will have problems to tie it towards you. However, oh, I fall down the stairs. But if you commit a lot of crimes in a specific area, and no one knows it was you, then the area will generally get more vigilant. The people will start carrying weapons around. They will. The skill checks will be trickier. Oh, let's see if we have clothes now at least.
Fucking thieves! No. We can't take it back now. We'd look like fools.
Okay, we saw that already, so let's skip it.
I see you have endlich worked up the courage to face us in public.
There's no need.
Wunderbar.
Yeah.
Since we've listen up.
Yeah.
Besides, it will only be so. Whoever that will
Let
bring
me
a just
see
close to this whole affair.
if
By
they.
allen Heiligen, you have decided.
No way! You can't do this, Fridush. We set up the sword-fighting brotherhood. Stay out of it.
Menhard is right. I want to see the
This is a matter for
calm yourself.
dialogue.
All right,
It will be
Nicholas.
different now.
Let's show them Deutschers how we sword fight here. Because we ain't afraid of no one. You want combat? You'll get it. 3 members of our brotherhood.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
Kein Problem. We
Okay.
also have one.
Okay, yes, I'll help you.
Gut, Heinrich.
Agreed then. The duels will begin when you're all
Ha! See? So now it worked, and now we will all fight only in Gambesons, which is pretty cool. So you can see tiny
You have no choice.
tiny changes in the questing can lead to bigger. Tiny changes in the questing can lead to bigger changes than in the world, kinda. This also is, if you remember, I won the first fight against Menhard, and only because of that, he immediately accepts me into his sword fighting school. If we wouldn't have won the first fight, then he would want us to fight Arne first, who is his apprentice. And yeah, we would have to show first that we are able to fight in his name and for his honor. I'm skipping really quickly. Of course, this makes the camera all go wonky, but don't worry, that's just a minor thing. Yeah. You can see there we are both fighting in garrisons now.
But I do not.
Yeah. All good. Let's just fight. And I will this time better not take any chicken leg or nothing. So let's fight, gentlemen. Do it.
For the glory of Gutenberg!
For the glory of Gutenberg. Let the duel begin. Oh, probably I should save. That's a good point. For Gondor, exactly. They wanted to kill me for a chicken wing, exactly. I still would take it. The bunny is back, don't worry, this bunny is fine. What I was worried about was the red gate on the top left, which is not there. So the searching bunny is fine. Just need to win. Need Menhard to win. The roasted chicken leg looks so good. I wanted it so much.
Victory
Oh,
goes to Master Menhard. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Much quicker.
Or if Linhard
yes,
can even the score.
it was much quicker without the armor. Exactly.
For the next round.
Because of course, as I said earlier, the NPCs are using the same mechanics as you do. So if they fight in armor, it's harder to wound them. If they attack spots that are without armor, then you do greater harm and so on. So this is all in there and all calculated. And they can do all the tricks, of course. And as I said earlier, not everyone can do all the tricks. He said sorry and he got whacked anyway.
Behold, Master Menhard proved his mastery.
And of course they can use as well. This is not a scripted thing, so let's see how everything turns out.
Its first victory.
It was the question about white screens.
About what?
About white screens.
Moreover,
supporting
Lady Fortune has a difficult task in store
well,
for
we
Linhard.
do. But again, please be patient about that. This is all a performance thing. And this is something we do at the end. But Dan Vavra and Victor are playing both and testing both on widescreen. So now we didn't appreciate it how I showed off my super sword here.
But regardless of the performance, the UI especially was designed with white screens in mind, so it's even better.
Oh no! I put the sword away. Sorry, sir. I wanted to change direction so quickly. Dude, no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. I'm just too good against him. And look how wounded he is already. Easy peasy. All the blood on the ground here.
Let's see if the winner can keep it up.
Maybe he just wants to go to the bathhouse. Because the chat wants to go to the bathhouse. I saw that already.
No time to lose.
Yeah, no time to lose.
Get to it.
Less talking, more killing. One attack to the head. And one stabbity stab. Come on, dude. Dude is wounded already. Yeah, no problem at all. Easy.
Who's the better sword fighter again?
Yeah.
That makes the second victory for the Frankfurt Brotherhood.
Yeah. Woohoo! Oh, Arne is our team member as well. I think he's fighting now, I guess. Right? Is he? Let's see.
Let's
Right.
now proceed to the third duel. The Kutenbergers will be represented by Emmeram the Butcher. Give him your support, and we'll see if he can do better than Linhardt. Because his opponent will once more be Master Menhardt.
Uh-huh. Let's do more fighting. Oh yeah, so about the tournament. Of course, this one is now a tournament that is happening in a quest. But of course, as you know, the tournaments in Rathai, then Kutna Hora will also have them, as you can see here right now. So tournaments will be a thing as well in the game. Don't expect jousting. I can already crush all your houts. Jousting will not be a thing in KCD at all. So the tournament is a thing that is focused on sword fighting mainly, or well, melee fighting mainly. But I know everyone wants jousting, but I think that it's maybe a little bit like Quidditch in the Harry Potter game. I think that's a game for itself, kinda. But yeah, how frequently the tournaments will be? Well, there will be some kind of rhythm. I can't tell you from the top of my head, but there will be, of course, some kind of rhythm, and you can be part of that. Yeah. The bunnies actually are they are more successful, more famous than we thought at the beginning. And as a matter of fact, there's several team members who got a bunny tattoo right now. So I think that should be we should create plushies or something and have the KCD rabbits. Yeah, Pole in the way. I'm sorry. There's it's a tent, okay. Maybe here. Okay, Menhardt won again.
Saw it with your own eyes, good citizens.
Yeah, PC requirements. I talked about this earlier. That is something that we are working on right now. But as I said, don't get scared about that. We are trying. We are all gamers here. We are all geeks and gamers at Warhorse Studios, and we want this to run smooth and butterly. So it will be on common settings, I'm sure, so nothing to be scared about. But I think by the end of the month or so we will be able to tell you. But that is something we're working on right now. How many % the game is ready? Well, that's a tricky question. Theoretically it's 100% ready, but feature-wise and stuff from the game. But the reality is that what we are doing right now is bug fixing mainly and optimization. So you saw a few bugs here. I think the visual ones are not. So yes, I mean visual bugs are nasty, but not a huge problem. The way worse bugs are ones that are crashing your games or whatever. So those need absolutely be gone. So that is priority number one, to have not those annoying bugs in there, but just a few as least as possible.
Will face Master Nicholas.
Basically, you can play the
We'll find out
games
if Nicholas
you
can
will
secure the
when it's
first
released.
victory for the
Just jump in,
Kutenbergers.
start the first quest, and finish the game in a couple of.
Okay, now the third of our team is fighting against the sword master of the other school.
Ready? Go for it!
Watch out. He's coming round. Some Teufel.
And the victor is...
Nein! Mit der Hilfe Gottes. I will continue.
You're brave, but foolish. This will not end well for you. Yield.
Niemals. Arne does not yield.
This Gefecht is over. You win.
You acted with chivalry, Master Menhart. But intervening in a duel is a breach of the rules. There is no choice but to disqualify you from the tourney.
Uh-oh.
How does it look?
He's badly shaken up, but that should improve in time. At first, I thought I'd have to send for the priest, but he had more luck than sense.
Yeah, she's doing some voodoo witchcraft on him. But don't worry, that's missing animation there. But as I said, it's an early build, so that's not the point. She will actually check his limbs and everything. So once this is done, this will look really cool.
He'll get his sight back in that eye, but I can't say for sure. In my experience, it's in the Lord's hands.
Send for the best physician in all of Kuttenberg. Schnell! I will
Schnell.
pay alles.
Rest assured, Master Menhart, we will send for him as you command. I am sorry that the whole affair has taken such an unfortunate turn. I will pray for your companion's health.
Danke, Friedrich. Aber what about the duels?
Beruhige dich, Arne.
Yes, that's what I came here to clarify. However, I expect on account of Arne's injury, your brotherhood has forfeit the fight.
Nein, Menhart. Du musst keep fighting.
Continue 1-1-1, of course, right? Henry the Savior.
Menhart and me can continue.
Heinrich had recht. I want to duel Nicholas.
I understand your wish, Menhart, but I can't grant it. You've been disqualified.
2 combo breaker.
Scheiß drauf. I will fight Nicholas, and you better get out of my way, Friedrich.
I'm warning you, Menhart. You swore to respect the results of the duels.
Verdammt!
Listen, Nicholas has defeated Arne, and Arne is in no shape to continue. So all 3 victories go to the Kuttenbergers. Menhart, you defeated Emmeram and Linhart, but you can't duel Nicholas. So 2 victories belong to you, and 1 to the Kuttenbergers. The only one who can still fight for you is Henry. He already defeated Linhart, so the score is 3-4 in favor of the Kuttenbergers, with 2 duels left.
Hold on, Friedrich. Arne could duel, but it's clear he wouldn't win. So all the victories here belong to the Kuttenbergers by right. But the only thing preventing Menhart from fighting is your decision. Otherwise, he's at full strength and ready.
That is true.
We swore we'd respect outcomes of the duels, but since there was no duel between Menhart and Nicholas, there is no outcome. So neither side can claim victory.
Wise words, I must admit.
The way I see it, both sides have 3 victories, and I have 2 duels left.
That sounds right and fair to me.
All right, so be it. So if Henry beats both Emmeram and Nicholas, you'll get the overall victory.
Gut, Heinrich. Fight for us. You are ein guter Fechter.
Also, Heinrich,
500 EQ, Henry.
lies in your hands.
Okay. Yeah, may fortune
I hope
favor
Lady
me.
Fortune will favor me today.
Well said. I'll be waiting for you in the arena where you'll face Emerald. So get ready quickly.
You take care of Arne, I'll take care of the
Hear ye,
Kuttenbergers.
hear ye! Arne the German can't take part in further duels due
Arne
to his
the German.
injuries.
Sounds like a
So
wrestling
3
name.
wins go to Gutenberg. The Frankfurt Brotherhood has won 3 rounds, but so has Gutenberg.
There must be something of great value here. Oh yes, Savior Schnapps. A classic period potion through which you save the game. This was worth the 3 kills, unlike the bow. Now, back to the recruiting campaign. The second man on the list, called Ada, was supposedly misbehaving last night around this village, and the gossip says he was caught with the butcher's wife.
Good evening to you.
I'm looking for someone, and the innkeeper said you might be able to help.
Is that so? Who is it?
A wandering man at arms. He's a foreigner, a Pole. They call him Adder.
Who are you anyway? Some friend of his?
Something like that. I just need to find him.
Then you better hurry up. My old man wants to murder him.
Why does he want to kill him?
Because he's a stubborn fool who won't let me explain. And believes gossip over his own wife.
Then calm down and tell me what happened.
Nothing happened. I mean, not that the Pole wasn't interested. He was looking at me all night at the inn, but I avoided him.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but notice. Is that bruise from the butcher?
He doesn't mean it. He just doesn't know what he's doing when he's angry.
Here you go. A potion for the pain. It should help you quickly.
Thank you.
And where will I find your husband, Adder, and the rest?
Outside the village, in the direction of Kuttenberg. There's a lone tree in the middle of the field. You can see it from a distance. They said that's where they take him, so that no one can see them.
I better go and see your husband. The sooner it's over, the better.
Hurry up, please.
We should hurry up then. A violent mercenary and a jealous wife-beater behind the village can't end up well.
What? Are you
Panie, mój Boże, wysłuchaj mnie. Całe życie mordowałem i ruchałem. Więcej razy paliłem kościoły, niż byłem u spowiedzi. Wybacz swoją słudze. Wybacz i pozwól mi jeszcze tylko raz wykastrować tych bezbożnych skurwysynów!
Oh, shut up! No one can listen to your damn gibberish!
Twoja baba i tak do końca życia będzie pamiętać o mojej polskiej kiełbasie!
I'll shut that gob of yours!
Ciebie i twoją matkę piekło pochłonie. Niech was piekło pochłonie!
Wait! Stop!
A co to za kutas?
Leave him alone and untie him.
Why would I do that? Do you know what that bastard did?
If you're talking about the rumors in the village, it's all lies. Nothing happened.
You don't know what you're talking about. That whoreson defiled my wife.
My Eva, eh? He should be glad we're only gonna hang him. If I had my way, we'd castrate him as well.
I saw that mark you left on your wife's face. That was no accident, was it?
What are you on about?
You'll raise your hand to a defenseless woman, but you need a whole gang to take on a man.
Think you can insult me, do you? Shut your gob! Get him, lads!
Well, at least Eva can find someone nicer now.
I'm all yours.
I feel quite hungry!
Boli.
O kurwa, było blisko.
As the young lad Henry, you will embark on an unforgettable journey through the beautiful but brutal world of the late Middle Ages. Our task for this quest is to find two men-at-arms, Raniek and Ada, and recruit them into a rebellious task force of which Henry is part. With a bunch of talented criminals and violent drunks, you are about to unleash a guerrilla warfare against Sigismund, the usurper of the Bohemian throne. The first man on the list, Raniek, was last seen in the nearby village of Bilani, playing dice in the tavern. Let's go ask the local gamblers about him. It's very early. The villagers are just waking up to their everyday chores, milking cows, harvesting crops, or gambling groschen.
Lord be with you. Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
The innkeeper said you were playing dice with Raniek.
You know Raniek? Then you must have a drink with us.
Same to you.
Thanks, but I'd rather know what happened to Raniek.
Impatient, aren't you? We can take you to him right now, if you want.
Lead the way, then.
Come on.
Nice fellas. They offered us a drink, and now they'll introduce Raniek to us. No questions asked. Looking forward to meeting him. Seems like a feel-good quest.
See him or not?
So where is he? What? Where is he? I don't get it. What happened to him?
We met this Raniek in Pshitoki. We even lent him money when he had nothing to play with. He swore he'd pay us back. Then we met here and played some more. Raniek kept losing, but he didn't know when to stop.
What did he do to him?
When it was clear he had no way to pay us back, we started watching him to make sure he couldn't run away. He started whining about having to go take a dump, but we didn't want to watch him shit himself, so we let him go and said we'd wait outside the shithouse. But the bastard got the idea to flee the other way.
You mean through...
But I reckon it was deeper than he thought. And he never came out.
I'm gonna pull Raniek out.
Well, if you say so. But I wouldn't go in there for a golden pig.
And when I find him?
Just pull him out and search him. That bow of his should fetch a decent price. Jump in then.
The life of a true medieval adventurer isn't always about winning epic battles, saving damsels in distress, and forging your own destiny. Sometimes it's about fumbling for corpses in a pile of shit
Something's moving over there.
behind the Bellani Tavern at 7 a.m.
Ah, good. That must be him.
Here we go.
Oh, finally.
Poor Henry.
Ugh, this is disgusting.
I don't think they deserve the bow after all.
Don't be afraid, feel around.
Hey, where are you going?
Come on, do it! Find the bow!
Now, bring us the bow.
What about the...
Not another step! God, what a stench! So, did you find the bow?
Well, I have it, but I won't give it to you. With what I had to go through to find it, it's more of a consolation prize.
Did you go mad from wading through shit? Give it to me.
Come and get it.
Fellas, hold...
Please, good man. I need some help.
A prime example of a random encounter.
What is it you need?
I lost something, and I can't find it for the life of me. My leather satchel. I put it down here for a moment, and now it's gone?
Where did you put it?
Somewhere around here. I made sure it wouldn't be in plain sight. At least I think I did.
Oh, a moment's distraction is all it takes. Someone must have filched it from you.
If I don't find it, I'm done for.
Now hold on, wait. What are you doing? Give it back right now.
Cheeky bugger. 50 groschen? That's worth at least a hug down the bathhouse.
Stop! Enough! Had enough? Now hand it back. Everything you stole from me.
Here. That's all of it. Can I go now?
Piss off.
You're acting like a child. Go and whistle somewhere else.
With our groschen back in our pocket, let's go
Mind
to
where
see a
you're
merchant to stock up on food, sell Raniek's bow, and head to the whereabouts of the second man on our list. Fresh bacon is good, but then again, it won't last too long in your inventory. For longer journeys, dried food is always better, as it doesn't spoil, and you don't risk getting sick from rotten bacon.
Vielen Dank. Du wirst sicher zufrieden sein. Bis bald.
Now that we're geared up with some food for our hungry Henry, let's proceed with our quest. The world in KCD2 is filled with places to discover. Let's have a look at this old ruin. There might be something valuable.
Turn that horse around and get out of here right now!
Right, I'm going. Calm down.
Well, what's it gonna be? I told you to get out of here!
We should listen to Mr. Marlborough and not provoke him. But given his menacing tone, he must be guarding something valuable. That's a promise we can't leave behind like that. Let's change our outfit to something more quiet and drop the chainmail for a bit, so we don't rattle across the whole camp.
catch something.
An alchemy lab. Of course. Oi, Pinkman.
That weapon
God damn.
you bastard! Attack! Come and help us! Show your stuff.
As you can notice, shields are very handy when you carry only a short weapon and have a free hand. But we cracked it right enough. Let's try to dodge and attack him right after. There you go, Henry. Yes, the weapons and shields can fall apart during combat if they're damaged enough. So it always pays off to take good care of them.
I'm just getting started! Mercy.
Victory at last. Now, what should we do with him?
You're not going anywhere until I say so.
Let me live!
Give me everything you have, and I'll let you go.
All right, easy now. Just let me go and I'll give you everything. You promised to free me, now keep your word.
If you rewind a few moments back, you can even see he gave Henry his red shoes. But it could have been much worse for him.
Fuck this! I'm not getting myself killed!
KCD2 aims to bring a unique blend of realism and fun into every part of the game, combat included. Our fighting system is built on true medieval martial arts and wrestling techniques. Fluid, thrilling, and tactical. As in real combat, movement is the key. As is equipping a good set of armor. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a pickle. We should leave before someone notices the new corpses and starts investigating.
What the? Did I step in shit? Oh, it's just you.
I, didn't have the time to wash up. But I'll do that right away.
As proven by this lovely lady, the world reacts to your behaviour, looks, and even smell.
Murder! I found a body!
Time to vanish. In order to properly wash away our morning adventure, let's visit the best bathhouse around, which is located nowhere else than in the great city of Kuttenberg. The crown jewel of the Holy Roman Empire, the central bank of the kings, a place where people of all sorts come to pursue the Bohemian dream and seek their fortune. A city filled with people to befriend or betray, and all sorts of adventures and quests for you to uncover.
Any trouble, got it? I'll be with you.
What, but it had everything.
What can I do for you, you stinker?
I need my wounds treated and my clothes washed. And then I'll have a hot bath.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
You certainly won't regret it. My baths are first class.
Now that we're all scrubbed up, let's take a stroll around the city. The world in KCD2 doesn't wait for you to come and trigger the lives of its citizens. All inhabitants have their own day routines. Merchants, wenchers, soldiers, or executioners. They all wake up, go about their workday, and once that's finished, they go home to their families or to the tavern to their beers.
Are you whistling at me? I'm not interested.
KCD2 aims to bring you a uniquely reactive and believable world. Whatever you do as Henry, it will have consequences, and you will feel them. Have you haggled too long with the greengrocer about the price of his cabbage? Well, now he's pissed off, and you can forget about any sale. Thrown your favourite hat in front of a beggar kneeling by the church? Come back a minute later, and you'll see him wearing it proudly. Or killed the local innkeeper's husband? She'll be crying in front of her house the next time you go there, making you feel really miserable. Across this demo, we'll play as a good-hearted lad. Apart from the ending though, spoiler alert. But the game allows you to push Henry towards any behaviour, even the most vile. Here's a quick example of what you'll be able to do to stir some mayhem in the city.
Did you forget your clothes somewhere?
Aye. At your mother's place when I was shagging her. Ha! That was just a little appetizer. And now I'm hungry again. So I reckon it's time for another course. What do you say?